How's everyone doing tonight? 64 people waiting. My recent live streams normally do 64 people. So to have 64 people waiting, I'm interested to see how tonight goes. Just gonna wait a second. I do see my stream starting up on my end. I don't have any grand plans. I guess the one plan I have, one last hurrah, I have behind me. If I decide to get real crazy being what? What is it, a $0 box now? Is it a $500 box? $10,000 box? I don't know. Kickstarter box up there if we decide to get crazy. Cryptid Nation First Edition, Nightfall, Wilderness, UFO, Seance, Native. To me, that was MetaZoo. I got a little wrapped up. I got a little sucked in. The NFT exclusive stuff, the Ping Club stuff, too many peripherals, that was just the epitome of MetaZoo. MetaZoo got into so many things. It got so spread out, spread itself so thin. Ultimately, it's done, right? It's done, or maybe it's not done. I've read a fair few conspiracy theories, and I'm going to try to, in this video, in this live stream, I'll address your questions. If anyone has any questions, leave them throughout. I'm not going to shy away from anything. If people have questions for me about my experiences with MetaZoo, my experiences, former partner of MetaZoo, leave them. I'll do my best. I don't know if I'll be able to keep up with chat throughout the whole thing, but I'm not going to ask it 5 times if you feel like I'm trying to skip it, because I'm not going to intentionally skip anything. But at some point, just for like background video so that you're not staring at my face, staring at my grill greaser Pete the whole night, I do intend to open one of each box. No Cryptid Carnival, no Kuromi, no Legacy. I don't even know if Legacy ever came out for anybody. But yeah, to me, this is what MetaZoo was. I became a partner halfway through at UFO, Seance, Native. I ripped over 10,000 packs of each. I genuinely enjoyed MetaZoo. I'm sure some people in chat, and again, I'm not going to shy away from it, some people in chat here today are hate watchers. Some amount of people are victory lapping, dancing on the grave. For the past 4 years, today they're vindicated. So they're happy today because the last 4 years, to some extent, on certain days, for unknown reasons, they were miserable. They were appalled by the existence of something that they didn't have to engage with, didn't have to interact with. That's weird to me. It's weird to me if you're going to waste your Wednesday night watching a stream of somebody open cards that you didn't enjoy. It's like, I'll have you here. Be sure to hit that like, hit that dislike, sub, unsub, whatever you want to do, engage, because engagement helps. But I think some amount of people, let me pause my music. I have just to set the tone for the night. Some people want to come here and see a broken man. I used the thumbnail, gotta play into the meme. I didn't even watch Tiger King, but I'm very familiar with the meme. I'm never going to financially recover this. I will tell all. I will tell you all the financials of my MetaZoo endeavor. I've made videos on them. They're already there. I haven't done one in quite a while, but if you followed me closely throughout this past couple years, throughout my whole journey on YouTube, you're pretty aware of like where I stand with MetaZoo financially and all that. But some amount of people want to see a broken, dejected man, probably. Some amount of people just want to get their I told you so's in, get this and that. And I'm not a man of many words. I'm not someone who's great with words. So I'm going to default to my man, Adam Sandler. Let's see if I do this right. Happy Gilmore. The thing that some people want to hear from me, I'm sure. And I'm going to have Happy Gilmore say these things for me. I hope this comes through properly.
I'm stupid. You're smart. I was wrong. You were right. You're the best. I'm the worst. You're very good looking. I'm not attractive.
All right. As long as you're willing to admit.
So there you go. All those things. Good looking. You're very attractive. You were right. You, the hate watcher, the person who's here for that reaction. And maybe I'm strawmanning. Maybe that is not the case. Maybe I'm getting my average viewership lying in wait just because it's the latest hot news. The symptom of humanity is just drama sells, right? So maybe some people are here for me. I mean, my hardcore true 60 viewers are probably here for me, but there are definitely some people that were here for that. So there's that. I admit I was wrong that MetaZoo would outlive Lorcana. I admit that I was more bullish on MetaZoo than I should have been. MetaZoo's dead, right? MetaZoo's dead. So it is what it is. I see new gaming chair. We won, chat. But yeah, I think it's obvious, right? Obvious things are obvious. Once the news comes out, once it's done, once it's Monday morning, it's obvious all the wrong calls that were made, all the wrong plays that were made. If you go for it on 4th and 1 and you make it, it's the right call. It's a brilliant call, brilliant coaching. If you don't run Marshawn Lynch 1 yard out from the end zone and you throw an interception, regardless of the facts that there was actually like clock strategy and other strategy behind that, it's the wrong call because it was an interception. So it's obvious things are obvious. Tell me the 3 to 5 things that are obvious 2 years from now, 5 years from now, and tell me how you're acting on that today. That's just a little bit of my rant, a little bit of my upfront stuff. Let me start to make my way through the chat. Oh no, I'm lagging. I see that I'm dropping a ton of frames. I'm going to turn off the Wi-Fi on my phone. Hopefully it starts coming back. I am streaming at 720p. I'm glad I didn't accidentally start streaming at 1080 because that would have killed it quick. But is this where I go for the MetaZoo advice? I need to sell 50K of MetaZoo product quickly. I'm asking for a friend. It's going to be hard. There's going to be a lot of memes in here. It's going to be hard to keep up with chat, but I'm going to do my best. Let me get my music back on. Let me make sure I don't play that to the stream. We got a buyer for your 50K worth of MetaZoo. They got 2K cash. Let's see if there's actually going to be questions in here. Let me see if I can find actual questions. This chat is going to be interesting. All the haters of MetaZoo are going to try to get in there. I told you so's on Dan. I preempted that. I was ready for that. I admitted fault. I admitted all my wrongdoings. Should I buy MetaZoo now? Nice to see you in here, Dave. One thing that I will say too about the whole thing from MetaZoo, I already touched on it a little bit, but it's weird to me, the Facebook groups, the Reddit groups, various Discords, YouTube comments, Instagram comments, whatever it may be. Some people had such a bad time with MetaZoo. They hated it so much, and they had to constantly say it. I just don't understand. I feel bad that people get sucked into it to where they have to put in so much time. Like, I put in a lot of time. I put in hundreds of hours to MetaZoo over the past 2.5 years. I want to say the first time I bought stuff, the video with PK that dropped this morning was 2 years ago. And at that point, I had already been into it a few months. So I've been in it 2.5 years, maybe. Partner since UFO. I had positive engagements. For MetaZoo dying for me means, and it's not like a big dramatic. I actually had people text me. I had people email me. I had people like, are you fine? Are you good? I don't know if it was financially or emotionally. I'm good. I'm good financially. I'm good emotionally. I'm good. Like, I would rather MetaZoo continued. I would rather there be a 7th box under here, war. I would rather have been a partner, ripped another 10,000 packs. Had it gone poorly financially, I would have been out at some point, right? Like, the 3 sets I was in as a partner treated me really well. Some of the crazy stuff that I YOLO'd before I became a partner is all like the big boo-boos that I made in MetaZoo. But yeah, we'll continue to get on that in the further thing. But DR cards, I mean, I've made new relationships, new friendships. I've not a ton. I mean, I didn't play the game. I didn't go to the tournaments and stuff. But I have 2.5 years of good memories. Opening MetaZoo with my family, selling it on eBay as I do. It was interesting, and I'll get into why I liked MetaZoo, why I didn't like MetaZoo. But I enjoyed my time in MetaZoo. I genuinely enjoyed it. I never got into Yu-Gi-Oh! I never got into, I mean, One Piece, I take my allocations and I flip them on the market. But with all these other things there, all these other things are present. and they haven't tempted me away, right? I did open 1 or 2 of the magic boxes. A couple of things here and there have come in, but nothing like to the extent of MetaZoo. I genuinely enjoyed it, and I was genuinely making money. At the very end, I did not lose money in MetaZoo. I made a very poor hourly wage. I made an hourly wage well below the minimum wage, probably. I don't even know exactly how it would work out. I guess I could try to work on the mental math, but I have 2.5 years of good memories, and I guess I have some closure now. All these theories, what's going to happen. I don't want to get too deep into the theories on what this means, what that means, deleting, reposting, all that. I have no idea. I'm not smart enough to know. I'm not an insider to know. I had no advanced knowledge of this happening. I don't think anyone really did. I've listened to a couple live streams, Nick's Drinks and Pokemon. I've watched some of Argos's videos. I don't think anyone really had insider information going all the way. Like, obviously, the board members, Mike himself, maybe Andy. But I don't have relationships where I was getting any of that information from any of them. And I don't think any of the big metatubers really did either. But yeah, let me start to go down. I probably should just start ripping. I'm going to start ripping within like 10 minutes. I'll start ripping, but I'm going to see what I can get a vibe from the chat for where the direction of the chat should go. Definitely not going to do a live stream burning all my MetaZoo. I'm going to rip 6 boxes tonight. I will buy MetaZoo booster boxes at $5 each. Any sellers? There probably are some sellers for that. I mean, I was buying boxes 2 months ago I was buying Nightfall at 25 a box. I bought some UFO, some Wilderness at 10-ish, 15-ish a box. I'm actively selling. Actually, one thing that's funny to me, I have so many more orders, probably 2 or 3 times my average orders yesterday and today, between TCG Player, between eBay, between everything. The game dies and the liquidity goes up 5x. The price went down 40, 50, 80%. I don't know. But I am selling some things today in high quantity for more than I could sell them a month ago. There are certain items, like, yes, I did go through and I slashed most items, 50%, 60%. I sent offers out 2-3 months ago on almost all my MetaZoo for like 50 or 60% off. Almost nothing sold. I sold a couple Pin Club displays. I sold a couple booster boxes. But now that I'm like at the same price that I sent out offers on some of these, I probably sold 80 boxes today and yesterday. Sorry, 80 boxes today and yesterday between eBay and TCG Player. I had, and this will probably be a question that I get, how many boxes are you sat on? How heavy are your bags? I did an inventory yesterday, 60 spellbooks. I ripped almost every spellbook I had, so very few spellbooks. Handfuls, like I could probably fit in 18 by 18 by 18 boxes is like the box size that I use for 20 ETBs, 2 ETB cases of Pokemon. I could probably fit all my spellbooks, not spellbooks, all my theme decks, release event decks, all those, because I cracked almost all of those too. So all those could fit in a couple boxes, not anything crazy. I had 480 booster boxes. I had approximately 40 cases, maybe slightly more due to loose boxes laying around here and there. All that stuff was free. All that stuff had paid for itself. I had netted money out of MetaZoo, and that was what remained as some part of my profit. Not much there anymore, right? If you take 480 boxes, say 500 boxes times 20 bucks a box, that's 10 grand. I do not have a ton of MetaZoo relative to my Pokemon inventory, relative to the size of the business overall. This has been 5%-ish of the business over the past couple of years. As far as like, probably not even, probably 2 to 5% or something. But yeah, let me continue to go on. There's no PowerPoint, no spreadsheet. I just jumped to the bottom. Oh man. 3 weeks ago, Dan predicted Lorcana would die before MetaZoo. Spot on call. So 3 weeks ago, as part of a meme, an ongoing meme that I had to just continue. That was last summer. Last summer, I made the cheeky prediction that I didn't hold that dearly. Absolutely, I was wrong. To start this live, I said something about being wrong. I've said multiple times already that I'm wrong and that Lorcana outlived MetaZoo. I did not hold that very dear. I'm not rooting for Lorcana to die. I'm not going to make a video dancing on Lorcana's grave if or when it ever fails. And it could. It absolutely could. Any TCG can be printed to its death. And not only was MetaZoo like printed to its death, it was more than just that. It was all the ancillary stuff. It was, I don't know exactly what it all was, but clearly it's dead today. And large print runs, 100,000 Wilderness, 100,000 UFO, they definitely contributed to that in some part. I'm sipping on Mountain Dew tonight. Nothing too crazy. I just jumped to the bottom. I think the chat is so active that I'm not gonna I'm gonna lose a lot of chat. Let me try to maybe I'm not. One thing that is going on, I'm not buying into. I didn't buy into MetaZoo as a Kickstarter. I bought into it way after the fact. So MetaZoo Kickstarter didn't fully fund, and I did not buy into the Kickstarter. I did not buy in before the initial boom. I don't remember exactly, but I want to say boxes boomed to like 3,000 to 6,000, and then they tanked. They tanked 50, 60, 70, 80% down to like $1,500 before Cryptid Nation first edition came out. So I bought 2 or 3 boxes, 2, 3, 4 boxes in the $1,600 range. That was my first interaction with MetaZoo. I have a video from 2 years ago showing exactly what I bought and when. I never finished that spreadsheet. I didn't go through and put in every buy I ever made, but at that time I had. At that time, before I had sold significantly, I literally had a spreadsheet tracking everything, as I originally did when I did Pokemon. So my plan for MetaZoo out of the gate, I enjoyed it. It looked cool. So many, like, the things I liked about MetaZoo, I love these boxes. I love that each box has a special wrap. Like, this is just, I don't think we're ever going to get it, because I don't think Pokemon cares enough. To them, it's a product that is to be sold at MSRP, and they make their money, and that's it. They don't, like, they definitely care about down the line, because if Pokemon is worth something down the line, people will buy new stuff, assuming it'll be worth down the line again, right? Like base set's worth a lot, so people buy Scarlet and Violet base set because 20 years from now it might be worth something. But why won't Pokemon give us this? Like, some of the things MetaZoo did, they saw the 20-year history of Pokemon. They saw the 30-year history of Magic. They got to see all this stuff, and then they got to do their own thing. And I liked a lot of the things they chose to do. Some of the things they chose to do, I didn't like. Separate logos on each wrapper. That is big for, like, anti-counterfeit measures. Stickers, void stickers on the seams. You can't, I mean, maybe you could weasel packs out the side. Maybe they should have had a couple more. But the box designs, I really enjoyed the box designs. Forever, to remember this period in my life, I will keep one of each of these boxes. Just to commemorate having been a MetaZoo partner, commemorate having been engaged in this. Like, I really enjoy the artworks. I really enjoy, the thing above all else that I enjoyed and found very novel was the entire cryptid idea. So people bash on MetaZoo. It has no IP. It's like, how can you build a card game and then try to do this, try to do that? Why can't you? Pokemon didn't do it that way. Magic did. Like, why can't they do what they want to do? Why do they have, like, people say, people criticize MetaZoo, like, it's never going to be bigger than Pokemon. And maybe Mike early on, one thing I wish I saw too, I wish I saw the video from Mike. It got deleted, where he compared Mothman to Charizard. I never saw that video. I always wish I had. Had I saw that video, maybe I would have had a sour taste in my mouth over MetaZoo. Maybe I never would have became a partner. Maybe I never would have gotten to it. I don't know, because I never got to see it. But people criticize MetaZoo. It's built on nothing. That's just where they chose to start. And honestly, it's not nothing. Like, not everything, and this relates to Lorcana, this relates to One Piece, this relates to if we get a Pal World TCG, not everything needs cards. And maybe cryptids don't. But to me, the idea of cryptids, like, maybe it's because I live in the woods in upstate New York, Bigfoot's kind of like a thing, right? Like, Bigfoot has fairly mass appeal worldwide. Like, maybe not for the city slickers, maybe not everywhere, but Mothman is a thing regionally. Loch Ness Monster. There are some very big ones that kind of permeate more international, global, whatever. Then there's, everyone knows some cryptid. That idea enticed me. That idea intrigued me. The idea that you could have various sets, and some of them, like Bigfoot. You got Bigfoot over here, you got Bigfoot here, and maybe they'll come back later, maybe they'll revisit different blocks. Getting that history, getting that lore, getting, like, learning more cryptids. the idea of having an IP based around a world of creatures that are public domain. It's just a cool idea to me. I really, that's one thing I latched onto. I really like that idea. And I think they, obviously the Netflix special, the video game, none of that stuff ever came to fruition. Was it ever really going to happen? What was it all just Fugazi? Was it all part of the rug pull, pump and dump, whatever? I don't know. I like to think that Mike was actually passionate about all this. I like to think that he had honest intentions. And one thing that I'll say, that people will probably, and maybe I understand the logic behind parts of it. I think MetaZoo, if it came out, instead of 4 years ago, if it came out 7 years ago, I think it would have had a better chance of surviving 5 years. Because some people will say it only survived because of the boom. I will say it thrived and it excelled because of the boom. And my biggest theory, I'm not going to get the tinfoil hat out. I'm not going to get like deep down into the theories. My biggest theory is that Kickstarter did not sell out. 2020 market, 2020, 2021 insanity, money printing, all this craze being what it was. 25,000, 50,000, 100,000, 100,000. 50 or 75, maybe less than 50. So some people will argue MetaZoo only existed because of the boom. I will say the boom brought it too close to the sun and then it burned up and died. I think the boom killed MetaZoo. And I think MetaZoo could have survived. Maybe it would have been 2,500, 25,000, 25,000, 25,000, 20,000, 30,000. Have normal fluctuations. For people coming in, people going out. And maybe years down the line, maybe 10 years down the line, they would have made it through multiple blocks. They would have made it through multiple sets. Maybe there wouldn't have ever been Lambos and rocket ship emojis and moon emojis. But you don't need to dethrone Pokemon to exist. A lot of companies exist. And one thing, enough is a word. Enough is a word that exists. And I think MetaZoo, a large part of why it died. And maybe some of this was Mike getting too high in the clouds. Maybe some of this was the board, the investors wanting a return and getting too greedy. Short-term gain, long-term pain. I think that's what happened. I think that's what killed it. Maybe making millions, the thought of making only several 100,000 or like lesser millions into the future just weren't worthwhile. Like we printed 100,000 and 100,000. Why are we going to continue a TCG if we go back to printing 10, 15, 20, 25,000? I think MetaZoo could exist tomorrow. Like there are 150 people watching right now. Nick's Drinking Pokemon had a few hundred people the other night. There are people. I have 100 plus orders of MetaZoo between yesterday and today. Who's buying that? Is it investors? Is it stonkers? Is it flippers? Is it scalpers? People like MetaZoo. It's not as much as Pokemon. It's probably not as much. It's nowhere near as much as most of the other TCGs that you're familiar with, probably. But it could be a thing. Like, it could have been a thing in some alternate reality where it didn't get stung to the moon and then crash and burn. That's just my thoughts. That's my theory. I think I mentioned by now I'd already be cracking boxes. But, yeah, Soccer Kills said Kickstarter was only 2,500. I think I pointed up here and said 2,500 Kickstarter. 25,000 Cryptid Nation First Edition. I don't have Second Edition next to me. But I have some handy. I might open one later. I might not. I don't know. But will another TCG take MetaZoo's profit share now? Relative to Pokemon, relative to everything else, MetaZoo didn't have a whole lot of money. MetaZoo's money going into other TCGs, I'm not sure how much money's going to actually be there to like do that much. But let's see. It's primetime television. If it was a scam from day one, what does that make the MetaZoo partners who promoted it? Did I promote it? Like, what does promote mean? I sold it. So some of these takes, and I'll get into some. I'll throw anything up on the screen, and I'll counter it. I bought a product wholesale, and then I retailed it. I enjoyed the product. If you go back and you watch the video this morning with PK, I told people, I'm buying this. I enjoy it. Price might go up, price might go down. I had already talked about, I talked about how boxes went to $6,000 and then went down to 1,500 and I bought some. And then went up to 9,000 and I sold some. That is a volatile thing. It's a risky thing, especially if you don't have money. If you're putting it on credit, that's a risky thing. I bought this, my whole channel. I mean, if you know me, there's 200 people in here. A lot of people in here do not know me. This channel is like the epitome of financial prudence. And please don't buy my stuff if you don't have the money. When people message me on eBay, wait till the paycheck, wait till Friday for the paycheck to come, cancel, block, done, over with. Like, I don't want your money if you, I don't want your bank's money. I want you to buy this stuff if you enjoy it. I don't sell. I'm actually going to make a video on this in the coming, probably coming weeks or months. Like, I'm not going to get to it super soon. But not just in MetaZoo. You need to be careful. And maybe there were other MetaZoo people. There certainly were other Pokemon people. There certainly were MetaZoo people earlier on in the bubble and the boom and the insanity. But when you interact with somebody, like right now, you're watching my channel. You're giving me money. You should know what my incentives are. And our incentives don't have to align. But if my incentive, if I'm a channel who's telling you to do something and I make money when you do it, like just watching me, I make money, right? Ad revenue and all that stuff. But if I'm telling you to do something, which I never tell, I never tell anyone to buy Pokemon. I guess the one thing, just full disclosure, every time you buy into the S&P 500, you increase my S&P 500 holdings. Considering I only have like 6 figures of holdings in that, and the total market cap of that is what, 9 figures, 10 figures? Not that much of a thing. But there are a lot of people out there that tell you to do something that they're not doing. They make money telling other people to do things that they're not doing. That is what pumping is. I know what the implication here is, what you're saying. One, I don't think MetaZoo was a scam from day one. I think there was a passionate guy who launched a Kickstarter that didn't sell out, and then he went on to make several sets, and the company ultimately failed. I mean, it's a tale as old as time. I think the less the Kickstarter part. I think there are tons of failed TCGs out there across the past few decades, right? Magic is the exception. Pokemon is the exception. There are dozens to hundreds of failed TCGs littering the path. And MetaZoo is just another one of them now, right? But yeah, if you know me, if you know my channel, before my channel existed, my first interaction on YouTube was on Pokemon Radar's channel. I was actively selling on eBay $1,000 Eevees, $1,000 Pikachus that I owned in mass and was grading in mass. Had I had a channel at the time, I would have said they're on my eBay. Don't buy them. Same thing, actually, funny thing. Right over there is an Evolutions booster box. I was buying those, unlimited quantity, 86 or 80 bucks, 78, 80 bucks at my distributor for years. And they started going up. My distributor was charging 82, 85, 90. I would have told you, don't buy those as an investment. Like, not that I would have told you to not buy them. I would have not told you to buy them as an investment, though. I won't say, like, don't buy MetaZoo, don't buy One Piece, don't buy Lorcana, but I won't tell you to buy them either. I might sell them to you if you're willing to buy them. But yeah, Evolutions, if you had asked me in a live stream, had I had a channel then, I would have said, Evolutions going to $200 overnight is crazy. This is a bubble, this is going to pop. It doubled, and then it doubled again to $800, closer to $1,000 at one point. I was wrong in a lot of ways. I sold all the way up. I don't think I ever sold any for more than they're going for today. So I will never go as far to say, like, don't buy it. Like, when Kickstarter booster boxes were 2 years ago, when I was talking with PK, when Kickstarter booster boxes were $9,000, they could have gone to 20. They could have gone to 25, 30. You never know. Bubbles are a crazy thing. You never know when that last double's going to be. Almost certainly, I knew they were going to go down at some point thereafter. That's why I sold too, right? I don't tell you what to do. I tell you what I do, and I tell you why I do it. That is this whole channel. This whole channel, I tell you who I am, what I do, and why I do it. I interacted with MetaZoo because it made me money. Hindsight, I should have extracted more money out. I should have profited in dollars instead of product, but it made me money as a business, and I enjoyed it. I chose to deal with MetaZoo because I enjoyed it. And the amount of people who don't enjoy it and didn't enjoy it and engage with it a ton, just super weird. I tried to PM you on Discord, but it won't let me. That's weird. It might have gone to my requests. That's really weird because we used to DM on Discord. I don't even know if you can block people on Discord. You're definitely not blocked or anything. You should be able to DM me. I don't know why that is. DM me on Instagram or somewhere if that doesn't work. Because I don't know how long I'm gonna go, but by the end of this, I might forget to reach out to you, and I'm sorry if I do. I probably won't open the Kickstarter box. I can't keep up. I'm definitely going to open the first edition. I don't have many of these. When I said I have 480 boxes, I'll give you an approximate because, again, some amount have sold. I've probably sold 100 boxes in the past 2 days. I have about 60 native left. I have about 60 seance left. 120-ish UFO. This is all excluding my Troll and Toad inventory. I don't know where my Troll and Toad inventory stands. I think most of it sold. I think I have about 100 each of Wilderness and Cryptid Nation 2nd edition. 1st edition, I probably only have like 10 or 12. Nightfall, I have like 60 or 70. Somewhere in there. I don't know if those numbers actually added to 500. Probably approximately 100, 360s. That's 380 plus. Yeah, somewhere in the 450 to 500 probably is what I have. See, the NFT and the crypto stuff, I am no stranger. I'm not like a Dogecoin millionaire. I'm not a Bitcoin millionaire. I've made 6 figures in crypto. I have most of my money on the table still in crypto. I'm interacting in crypto as I did with MetaZoo. Maybe it will end as MetaZoo did for me. I interacted in MetaZoo the same way that I did in Pokemon. So again, for anyone unfamiliar with me, most of which you probably will be, I started with Pokemon in 2014 with $5,000. Between 2014 and 2020, I side hustled my $5,000. Well, let's go to 2019, before the boom, before everything rocket emojied. I turned my through thousands of hours of sweat equity. I turned my $5,000 of Pokemon into a couple $100,000 of Pokemon. The boom did its boom things and turned it into 7 figures of Pokemon. But I was trying to do the same thing with MetaZoo. Clearly, didn't have the tailwind, didn't have the boom at it had the boom at the beginning. That was the problem. Had the boom on the front end, not on the back end. But crypto, same thing. I mean, I started when Bitcoin was around 200, and I watched it tank to 50, and I saw it climb to 10,000 and down to, I don't remember all the ups and downs, but I own more Bitcoin than I ever have. I had owned, not in dollar-wise anymore, but I had owned 2 days ago more MetaZoo than I had ever owned. And I owned more Pokemon than I had ever owned in 2020. I started taking money out of Pokemon in vast quantities when it felt bubbly, when it didn't feel sustainable. And I made a YouTube channel and I started talking some people see me as bullish, some people see me as bearish, some people will call me an investor in Pokemon. I don't know what I am. People have pretty good ideas of what I am, but I'm sure there's a lot of things people will call me over this MetaZoo stuff, over the crypto stuff too. So everyone who was so confident 2 days ago, 2 years ago, the day it came out, everyone who's so confident, and maybe not everyone has the same experience or knowledge of crypto, but I'm sure some amount of people in here 4 years ago, 2.5 years ago when I got into it, would have told me, stay away from MetaZoo. It is a problem. It is bad. You're going to lose all your money. And again, I lost a lot of time. I didn't lose money. I just worked for only a couple bucks an hour. But a lot of the same people probably would have told me to stay out of crypto. And maybe ultimately they'll be right. Maybe I'll be the bag holder in 2 days, 2 years, 20 years. I don't know. But yeah, people who are so confident, it's so obvious that MetaZoo was going to fail. What is it obvious that Bitcoin's going to do? A lot of people since I first bought Bitcoin when it was 200. I first saw Bitcoin when it was $8, and I watched it crash to 2. And I was glad I didn't put $50 into it. Had I put $50 into it, I probably would have sold when it made me like $1,000 because I was where I was in life financially and how much money that would have been. But yeah, it's just interesting. The day, if Bitcoin ever fails, it will have been obvious that it was going to fail all along. But until then, it could go multiple ways. Until 2 days ago, MetaZoo could have gone multiple ways, right? People won't admit that. People won't admit that there could have been alternate realities where they went 25, 50, 50, 50, and things like stayed. But one funny thing, too, that I always need to point out on MetaZoo, people criticized MetaZoo for artificial scarcity. 2,500 boxes, rarer than alpha. That's artificial scarcity. They're just trying to pump it. It didn't sell out. Kickstarter did not sell out. MetaZoo was not built on artificial scarcity. They got into a lot of things. Serialized cards, NFTs. They got into things that people hate and think are icky. Look at where sports cards are. We're headed there. Mark my words. 5 years, 50 years, Pokemon will have serialized cards. They already do, like, light version to some extent, the Bear Walker cards. The Bear Walker skateboards, they actually have some. They do serialized merch on, I have a serialized Master Ball right there. Pokemon already does serialized stuff to some extent. They have watches, I believe, fossil watches that are serialized. Pokemon, Magic's doing it. Sports cards are doing it. I think Lorcana, maybe it was the Disney Kakao, One Piece, I believe Naruto. Maybe they weren't serialized, but they had like alternate arts. That was years ago. Most things, Star Wars, like most things in cardboard end up at serialization. I think Pokemon will get there. People criticize MetaZoo because they did it so early, but it's like, it's fairly ubiquitous in the space. Pokemon is one of the few holdouts probably. And even them, they might not put numbers on it, but they are doing extreme scarcity stuff. They are doing extreme design scarcity. And they have some very limited products too. But yeah, let me, question is, are you going to sleeve any MetaZoo? I do have sleeves here. I probably won't sleeve much. Oh, that's actually a good point. I'm glad you asked because I do, I am, so for anyone unaware, every native partner that made a qualifying order got promos. I sold 100 of them sealed with my corporate seal. I damaged the cards. And I promise I will open cards later. This stream might be a super long stream. I promise I will open cards later. All 6 of these boxes will be opened. But yeah, I had 500 promos given to me. Very, very minor KA. Catch 'em all collectibles. That's me in the corner. But I sold them for $19.99 on my store. They're sold out. I sold 100. I gave away 25-ish due to people who bought into my box breaks and stuff on various live streams. I sold them for $19.99. As long as I'm alive, I will give you a $20 bill for those promos. I guarantee, as long as I'm alive, sue my estate if you have to, I guess. I will buy them back for you, $20 cash. Get it to my P.O. box, hand it to me at Collecticon. I sold 100, I gave away 25. I have a wave of 50 that I'm doing something different with, something else fun. I might do them for $19.99, but I might also raise the price. If I raise the price, it will be raised forever. If or when I raise the price, it will never go down. For as long as I live, minimum, I will buy my promos back at $20 a piece cash. Everyone who bought one will make money in them, if they so desire to get out of them. I don't think Rudy did that. I don't think anyone's ever done that in the history of any TCG. Maybe they have, but I wanted to do something fun with it. So that is a thing. No one sold any back yet. MetaZoo's news a couple days ago, nobody has sold any back yet. So if they do, I'm here, $20. Get it to my P.O. box, $20, friends and family, however, wherever you want it. Meet me at a Collecticon, hand it to me, $20 cash. I will have 20s in my pocket, ready to go for buybacks. Not changing that whatsoever. Yeah, and like shout out DR Cards. I am not one who was a partner that was engaged at all in the play community. I guess to some extent through supplying cards. My strategy, because I didn't see anyone else doing it, was to mass rip. And it's funny, Nick, at the time that I was mass ripping MetaZoo sets, tons of people mass rip Pokemon sets for singles on TCG Player, on eBay, on things like that. The hourly rate that a lot of those people make, very, very low. The hourly rate at the time, the effective hourly rate, while I was selling it, had I sold it all, had I taken all the money out and not rolled it into more MetaZoo, I was making significantly more money per hour. 50 plus, 100 plus per hour at the time of native release for small windows. It wasn't sustainable. It wasn't going to last. Native supply bottleneck issues. Like it was buoyed by a lot of different things. I'm not ignorant to that fact. But I was making more mass ripping MetaZoo because no one else was doing it. I was the singles market. And if MetaZoo had gone through on their promises of all those tournaments and everything, it would have been a good model. I mean, it was working out to be a good model, and I was bullish on it. I was bullish on that model moving ahead, so that's why I was going to do War. But how can this guy's wife even look at him the same after getting burned by MetaZoo? Oh, man, you guys are funny. I don't hate you, I just hate MetaZoo. The amount, like, the most bullish thing to happen in MetaZoo in the past 12 months has been MetaZoo officially closing. Because the amount of orders that I've had, albeit at drastically reduced prices, the amount of orders that I've had, crazy. I couldn't believe how many orders I've had. I appreciate you, Digital Monster Deals Live, $2 dono a long, long time ago. So sad to see this. I feel like everything could have... So, see what C. Lovett did here? I'm like 45 minutes behind. C. Lovett put a stop sign by his question. If you put a stop sign by your question, I'm more likely going to see it. That's like a thing. I know. 200 people here. There's normally not 200 people here. That's a thing in my chats. Like, if you put a stop sign by the question, I'm way more likely to see it. If everyone does it, well, it won't stand out quite as much, and maybe I'll still miss some, but I appreciate that. So sad to see this. I feel like everything could have been avoided if they just focused on the main sets. Did you have any inside information into the downfall as a partner? I did not. I did not. I made a video at the new year. I made a video about the announcement. I said what I said in that video. I said the words are all the right words. And I basically said talk is cheap. And MetaZoo has talked a lot historically. I said the words are the right words, but we need to see the actions. And then about a week or two later, I made another video because I heard rumors that the Dark Tower payments had not gone out. And I mean, negativity started going from there. I mean, the prospects of things going to a good solution, a positive solution, went down every day. That nothing was said. Some people were funny too. Like, they were so shocked. They were so surprised. I wasn't that surprised to see that MetaZoo's done, discontinuing operations. Like, it's only been bad for the past year. Since Native came out, it's been pretty rough. It's been a pretty rough go. It's not that surprising. They packed it up. But I think I forget if I finished the whole rant. 2,500, Kickstarter did not sell out. Artificial scarcity. It's a ubiquitous thing in cards, Magic, sports, all that stuff. They got criticized for doing too little and being short supply, artificial scarcity, stonked to the moon. And then only 6 short months later, they printed too much. Like, too little, too much. Rudy talks about... I love Rudy. Rudy is an interesting character. And I could talk a lot about Rudy, but I don't like to talk about people. But I actually love Rudy. He pumped me and he dumped me. I have that... I'll forever have that 1-of-1 Rudy card in my personal collection from his 6.9 anniversary kits. But yeah, he's very right about one thing, about the whole game pieces. I didn't buy the shirt. They sold out of my size. I'm a 2XL. I'm a big dude. They sold out of my size before I noticed them. But this shirt is worth more than your game pieces. People, the general consumer base is very fickle. And honestly, maybe ignorance, maybe just lack of intelligence. The average consumer base is dumb. The average consumer base does not know how to run a card company. You can say that MetaZoo doesn't know how to run a card company either. Fair. It's dead, right? But the average consumer is worse. Too little, artificial scarcity, pump and dump, blah, blah, blah. Then they 10x it. Still not enough. What are you guys doing? 50,000. Not enough. What are you guys doing? 100,000. And then it's like, oh my God, no, it's too much. What do you? Oh my God, it's too much. Too much. You guys are done. If the consumer was allowed to run the show, if the what is it? The there's expressions there that I'm losing. But if the consumers were allowed to design the product and design the print runs and things like that, one, you'd have two people pulling different directions. But generally speaking, you'd have the whole game pieces thing. You'd print everything to its death, to its demise. This is what the game pieces thing is. This is what printing to availability for everyone. If everyone can have it, no one wants it. And that's what happened in MetaZoo largely. Print run can kill anything. It's not going to happen in Pokemon. I mean, it could happen. Minuscule. MetaZoo, obviously it's obvious now, 100%. 2 years ago, if someone had asked me in a live stream to attribute a percentage, what percent chance do you think MetaZoo will be dead in 2 years? I might have said 20 or 30%. Some people would have said 100%, and then now they're right. It was never 100% 2 years ago. It was high. I would have put 20% on it. Some people would have put 50. Some people would have 80. Some people would have put 2%. Pokemon being dead in 2 years, 0.001%, I would say. Lorcana being dead in 2 years, 5%, 2%, 1%. I don't know. One Piece being dead in 2 years. 2%? 1%? I don't know. Significantly lower numbers than I would have put on MetaZoo 2 years ago. Absolutely. Because they have more of an IP. They have more of a backing. But not everything needs cards. I feel like I'm gonna end up all over the place around here. But I am going to start ripping. So I am going to get this on screen now. We did get rid of Happy Gilmore, so Happy Gilmore's gone. I'm going to officially crack into this box before I get my next question, my next bit of commentary or ranting. I'm probably not sleeving much of anything. If I pull a red ink, I will sleeve. If I pull an old scratch, if I pull a golden ticket, I heard that golden tickets were ownership in the company. I wonder how that works now. Maybe all the golden ticket holders own the company now. I don't know how that works. But yeah, let me rip this. Let's see if we can get a. I don't even know how to open these box toppers. I probably should cut. Let me open this box topper. See if I can cut the top off of red ink. And then I will continue through chat as I start to rip. So here we go. Let's see if we can pull a serialized card tonight. Oh my God! There is no way. I can't believe. I swear. PK was nowhere near this box. This card at one time was worth several $1,000s. I believe it's 1 out of 250 boxes. No, there's 100 of them. Yeah, if there's 100 of them, it's 1 out of 250 boxes. I literally just pulled a red ink. That's insane. I just sleeved a red ink. That's the first edition one. That's not the blue ink. Is anybody reacting to that on chat? I don't think so. Oh my God, that's crazy. I can't believe. Yeah, people are reacting to it now. I swear on Arceus. I swear on all things holy and unholy. I can't believe I just pulled that. What are red inks going for right now? That's got to be worth a solid $50. I mean, come on. That was worth like $10,000 at one point. There's a PSA 10 listed for $10,000. There's another PSA 10 listed for $5,500. I can't believe I just pulled that. What a way to start the stream. So one sold on December 31st. Let me 130 point this to see what it went for. December 31st. December 31st, prices ain't the same now. But yeah, this is, what a way. Honestly, I will add too. One thing, like, people in Pokemon many people in Pokemon do not want serialization. I like the thought that every one of these boxes I open, like, I just had a chance, 1 in 250 chance to pull a 1 of 100 card. To me, that's cool. To me, that's cool as hell. When okay. I understand that nobody's gonna believe me. I understand nobody's gonna believe me. I've never bought a red ink before. I've never owned a red ink. I've never middleman. I've never had a red ink. But there's a chance I pull an old scratch here. There's a chance I pull a golden ticket. There's a chance I pull a card that went to outer space. There's a chance I pull various serialized cards here. There's a chance I pull, and I did pull, Frog Token. I pulled Powdered Turquoise. That's cool to me. Having that chase of chases. Pokemon has 1 in 1,000 alt arts. Pokemon has the Moonbreon chase, but it doesn't have this. And I think this is cool. This is cool to me. Like, I can't believe I just pulled that. I cannot believe it. People aren't going to believe it. It is what it is. And that's another thing. This whole MetaZoo thing. I did MetaZoo for me. For my business. I have good interactions with, and I have good memories of MetaZoo. People are going to be the way that they are. It is what it is. But I have positive things to take away from MetaZoo. And now, one thing to add to MetaZoo is that I pulled a serialized card. I've already pulled serialized cards live on stream. There we go, Uncle Sam Full Hollow. I've already pulled serialized cards live on stream. I pulled a Powdered Turquoise for one of my customers on a native box break. And now I've pulled a red ink when MetaZoo was dead and worthless, right? James, I am 0 beers deep. I'm drinking Mountain Dew. I'm a couple sips deep into Mountain Dew. My wife got my wife got these tiny cans. It's like she got me Mountain Dew. Look at this. Look at this. She got me Mountain Dew for ants. I have 2 of them. In my glass. So I have 2 7.5 ounce cans of Mountain Dew tonight. Is what I've got for my stream drink. I can't believe I just pulled. We got bids up to 230. I can't believe I just pulled. And I know people won't believe, and I don't care. I just pulled a red ink. That's wild. That's so wild. I'm gonna take these all out of the box. Imagine if I pull 2 serialized. I almost hope I don't pull another one, because then it's like then all credibility goes away, right? If I pull a green man or something, oh, it'd be amazing. What a send off to me. Like, I'm going to do a video Saturday too. I'm going to do a video Saturday, just covering all my wrapping up all my thoughts in a more concise way. I say more concise way, but again, if you know me, you know that my video on Saturday is going to be a PowerPoint presentation that goes on probably for an hour long. This live stream might go 4 hours. It might go longer. I don't know. Got a lightning glass. But I genuinely enjoy the art styles. I genuinely enjoy the chase. I genuinely enjoy the fact, like, how easy would it be for Pokemon to put a little bit of money into R&D to develop a new wrapper, a unique wrapper for each set, for like counterfeit prevention. It's hard to do 23 years later, because then you're kind of admitting for the first 23 years you probably should have done something differently. But different hollow style for every set. Like, MetaZoo did a lot of cool stuff. I genuinely liked a lot of stuff MetaZoo did. I don't know if people are actually bidding 1,500. There's no way. I can't believe I pulled a red ink. That's wild. As long as it qualifies for eBay Vault, that's all that matters to Dan. That's funny. What are the best sets in MetaZoo that are short printed so I can buy in? I would not advise people invest in MetaZoo, but the print run, that's another thing I love about MetaZoo. Up until the end, I don't think we know the print run of all the ancillary products, but for all the main sets, we know the print runs. And I could be wrong here. Someone correct me in chat if I'm wrong. 2,500 Kickstarter boxes. 25,000 Cryptid Nation First Edition. I think 62,500 Cryptid Nation Second Edition. 50,000 Nightfall. 100,000 Wilderness. 100,000 UFO. 50 or 75 Sans. And then it's kind of presumed that it was 50 native, but I think it was less. I'm not positive. I have no information on that. It's just speculation. But it feels like it was less because the way that native didn't die so bad. Baby Blue Ox. But yeah, I like that we, at least for a while, were getting like accurate print run data, like actual print run data on the set. So you could do the math on how rare things were, how many, like, there's 100 of them, one per 250 boxes. Is my stream still lagging like crazy? I apologize if that's the case. I don't know what's going on with that. DSL internet, I'm hardwired as always. But, I don't want the game to die. This shit hurts everyone, says Mr. Walrus. Oh, man. I'm gonna try to, Pullfather says, I'd buy a Kickstarter for 100, why not? So as far as I know, on Monday, I didn't check yesterday, but as far as I know, on Monday, 3 Kickstarter boxes sold. One for 400, one for 450, one for 750 per 130 point. And it wasn't like 750 first, and then 450, and then 400. I want to say it was 450, then 400, then 750. There are consumers out there. This is as of today, it is a dead TCG. PK always talks about how he collects dead TCGs. He went and bought a UFO booster box, I think. There will be some amount of consumer demand for this. I've shipped more MetaZoo in the past 2 days than I had shipped in the prior, I don't know, 3 months, 6 months maybe. Albeit at much lower prices, but it is a thing. It will probably, there we go, Level in Frogman. I'm going to sleeve the frog too. I don't know if I've ever pulled a first edition frog. But yeah, the people that are buying today, the people that I'm shipping to actively, they must enjoy the product. Maybe they're doing it as like a cautionary tale. Maybe they will leave that box on their shelf forever to always be reminded of the cautionary tale that was MetaZoo, and make sure that they don't ever do something as stupid as buying into something like that. But the lag is due to heavy amounts of FOMO. I think we have so many people watching that we're breaking YouTube. YouTube must not be able to handle this traffic. Dan, you should consider buying MetaZoo. If the price was right, if 50 grand could buy me MetaZoo all in, no debt. I'm not going to pay 50 grand and then pay the Dark Tower people. Sorry, Dark Tower people. Once they go bankrupt, if I could just own the whole thing, what even is the whole thing? It's all public domain characters, right? It's probably nothing. I would go 50K deeper into bag holderdom to say that I own MetaZoo. There we go. Reverse Hollow Piazza Bird. I will continue to scroll through chat and try to find questions, but as of right now, I'm going to hang out. I'm going to hang out with, I said I wasn't going to get out the tinfoil hat either. One tinfoil thing that I heard that nothing would surprise me with MetaZoo. Like, I was not surprised. Some people said they were shocked. They were flabbergasted that MetaZoo announced that they were done. It didn't shock me. Like, I was mildly surprised. I was surprised, moderately maybe. I wasn't shocked. Imagine that they were just hostile takeover, booting Mike out. I've heard this theory that they were booting Mike out, hostile takeover. Chaos Crystal, that's a playable card. I'm not gonna sleeve that one. Imagine next week we're back. We decided to bring the company back. Dan revitalized the whole thing. His promo paved the way. A card went up in MetaZoo. So we decided we're going to turn the lights back on. We completed our hostile takeover, and now War launches on May 1st. Maybe tomorrow. Maybe tomorrow's February 1st. Maybe they mixed up with April Fools. Maybe tomorrow they say, hey, February Fools, War releases on May 1st. Or maybe they'll say War releases on April 1st, and then April Fools us. Who freaking knows? I wouldn't put anything past MetaZoo at this point. It's a dead TCG already, so would that kill it? Well, today it's dead. So how can you kill what's already dead? I said I wasn't gonna take out the tinfoil hat, and then I went and did it. I looked at it for a second. I'm like, growth. I think there's like a seed token in one of the later sets. It's a serialized card that looks moderately like that. It doesn't look exactly like that, but I think it looks moderately like that. Mason Berry says, holy shit, we're talking playables and MetaZoo. If Rudy buys MetaZoo and sets it straight, that would be hilarious. Rudy actually talked. In one of his videos, he said that there's very exotic things that he talked about. Like, oh, they could do an exchange program where for certain amounts of boxes, certain amounts of hollow, certain amounts of whatever, you can exchange 1-for-1 native or wilderness for native. Basically like a buyback program. Destroy all the product, kind of undo the crazy print runs that they did to try to save it. If Rudy were to buy it and start undertaking some draft, like I'm a Rudy fan. I'm a Rudy fan, even though he's pumped me and dumped me. I would buy into the next set of MetaZoo if I were a partner. If I were able to get partner price and I were able to have a good advantage, because it's risky. It was risky while I was in it, and it ultimately blew up on me, which was obvious all along. Everything's obvious in hindsight. There's the first box. Not much for the box. I mean, I did get a frog. I didn't get my boy Bigfoot. I got a frog, and I got a red ink. Believe it or not, I got a red ink. I can almost not even believe it. That was wild. That was wild. So let me I'll get Nightfall here. Old Scratch. Are we gonna pull a serialized in every box moving ahead? And Jake, Pokenomics, if you're out there, if you're lurking, I bought this box from Jake. Jake hosed me. I bought it very cheap relative to what market was like a few weeks ago. Market today relative to what it was a few weeks ago is rough. So I got hosed until now. Now I got $50 back. There we go. MetaZoo is nothing compared to your wins. Yeah, and that's... MetaZoo was always like, when I went into Bitcoin, I put in like a few $100s. I did not put in thousands. I was not carrying consumer debt on my credit card. I was not carrying debt of any kind when I went into MetaZoo. When I became a MetaZoo partner, I had paid off my house already. So how risky it was buying Kickstarter boxes, buying sample sealed packs from Rusty, buying all the crazy stuff I did, it was from a place of like a very strong foundation. And it was knowing the risks. Like I knew the risks of what I was getting into. And the I wouldn't say the worst case scenario happened, because the worst case scenario, immediately, like overnight, it all died and it went to zero and it was just over quick. And then I lost 50 grand. That was like the deepest I was ever into it at one time. So worst case scenario, I would have lost all of it right then immediately. And liquidity would have been gone, and maybe it would have been better, because I mean, if you look at like purely dollar-wise, I wouldn't have lost all my time working for a couple bucks an hour. But it is what it is, right? Like I don't regret it. If people ask me, do you regret having been a partner? I don't regret it. We got Run It Back here for the drama. You're not alone. You're not alone, Run It Back. Believe me. There's something on this one. Losing Troll and Toad, Evo, and MetaZoo both around the same time. You had heads up for Evo, but not MetaZoo, I assume. If one were to come back in the future, what one would you want? Evo, hands down, by far. Stay tuned. There might be news on that. There might be, there might not be. I don't know. I'm not teasing you. I'm not toying with you. I genuinely don't know what's going to happen with it. Apologize for the lag. I have DSL. I live in the woods in upstate New York. Still trying to find Bigfoot. Still haven't. Yeah, we're taking down YouTube. Too many people. Some people definitely lost serious money. Some people lost serious money in this. Some people lost serious money in Bitcoin. Some people lost serious money in Pokemon. Some people lose serious money in the S&P 500. If you look at the average day trader, there are so many quotes out there, so many stats out there. I don't know the exact numbers. X amount of statistics are all made up anyways. But Adam Ackler, let's see if we can pull an Old Scratch. Come on, back-to-back boxes of serialized chase. I don't think Old Scratch is actually serialized. I think Green Man in Wilderness was the first serialized one. But 2 full houses to start. people lose money. Like, people lose money everywhere all the time. I actually have another video I might do. Might be too... Some people are born to lose money. It might be too, like, inflammatory. Maybe it won't come across well in a video. Some people are born to lose money, and that's all they do. Whether it's the casino... There we go. Full Hollow Wendigo. Whether it's the casino, whether it's the betting apps, whether it's the latest and greatest pyramid scheme. Some people... I've talked about this. I made a video called Financial Advice a couple years ago, maybe a year ago. Get rich quick keeps people poor slowly or quickly, or whatever the right thing is there. Get rich quick schemes, and some people would call MetaZoo that. Some people would call MetaZoo. Nightfall is actually probably, of all sets, the set that I've opened the least. So you'll probably see me looking at the hollows a little bit more here. I've not even opened every hollow probably from Nightfall. But get rich quick. People are so impatient. The prospect of working 40 years and saving in your 401k and IRA and maybe having $1 million to retire on 40 years later, it's so boring to people, and people don't want any part of it. And so they chase get rich quick schemes. Same thing. I've talked a lot about how fitness and finance are very similar in a lot of ways. Get rich quick schemes are just like fad diets. Making money over the long term is a simple process. Spend less than you earn, invest the rest. Maybe don't invest it in shit coins. Maybe don't invest it in MetaZoo. Maybe don't invest it in the next latest and greatest Kickstarter TCG. Invest the rest in productive assets. Productive assets like stocks and real estate and things of that nature. I saw that and I'm like, that is Old Scratch. That is the character Old Scratch, but it's not the Old Scratch card. It's just the reverse hollow. Or it actually says it's Wood Devil of Koo's Country. So I guess that's not Old Scratch. But anyways, some people they think that the long and slow, that's the same guy, Full Hollow. I had a little panic again. Some people, the long and slow is too boring, and they think it's unattainable. They think they might not live till then. Why save for tomorrow what you could spend today and enjoy today? I might not live till tomorrow, blah, blah, blah. I don't ascribe to all that, but that's what a lot of people do. And a lot of people just chase. Let me try to turn 1,000 into 1,000,000. Let me try to turn 10,000 into 1,000,000. Because I don't want to turn $40 a week into 1,000,000 over decades. I want it now. I want to lose 100 pounds in a year. I don't want a caloric deficit, exercise, eat healthy, eat less. Screw that. I want to take a pill and I want to drop 100 pounds. I want to take a pill and I want to make $1 million. Like, that's just what people are and what people do. And some people did that in MetaZoo. I promise you I was not doing that in MetaZoo. I knew some percentage chance. There was a higher percent chance that MetaZoo would fail than it would 10x from where I bought it. But there was a chance that it could 10x from where I bought it. And had I been taking money off the table the whole time, I would have done pretty well. There we go. We got the Nightfall Mothman. We didn't get the Cryptid Nation. We're getting some good hits tonight. Let me try to catch up. Basic says not the same. I don't know what's not the same, Basic, but let me know. I'll try to stay tuned and find out what's not the same. Dan pulling a MetaZoo hour soon on us. Is that when I was talking about opening boxes? I don't know. I'm trying to keep up with chat, but it's tough. It is very tough. There's 4 times the people in here that I'm used to. Sorry for knocking the camera. I need to do better. My camera's mounted to my desk. I used to have it mounted from the ceiling, but it just gets in my way a lot because I'm so freaked out when I stand up. It's like all the hardware's in the way. I need to figure something better out. Dan, thoughts on people who hate on MetaZoo and spend hours of their time hating? Weird, right? Yes, very weird. Eat some MetaZoo cards for being wrong. Repent. I refuse. If I made a bet and said I would eat MetaZoo cards if Lorcana outlives it, I would do that. I would follow through. As far as I recall, I do not recall making any bet like that. So I will not be consuming any Mezo cards tonight. But I will be trying to pull another serialized card to try to claw back a couple dollars. Mountain Dew's new flavor, citrus copium. Where am I copium? Where am I coping? People said, saw that PK. I saw that PK. Your quick PK. How to make money in MetaZoo. Don't buy MetaZoo. Make video on why MetaZoo sucks. Collect AdSense. Is that what he had posted and then deleted? Oh, I figured it out with the Wood Devil. Okay, Basic. So you were just, yeah. I keep missing everything in chat. What happened now? The biggest drama llama around. Brad G Cards. Go check him out. Go like, subscribe on YouTube. He is a regular here, but he is also here he's double here for the drama. He's always here, but he is double present for the drama tonight. I'm going to try to finish this Nightfall box, and then I'm going to try to run through chat and try to catch up a little bit. Lightning Alley. I genuinely do, though. Yucky, red borders, terrible kindergarten art. Like, I enjoy it. I probably enjoy it because it kind of scratches that same itch of Pokemon. Like, it has a look and a feel. Like, it's not the same. Doesn't have the nostalgia. But I've talked about a lot of the reasons why I liked it. And they all apply. I'm going to move some of my bulk around so that I can fit the rest of the cards too. I think, yes, this is off-screen enough. I'm going to leave my red ink. I'll leave these guys here. Red ink can't be outdone. So red ink's going to stay on top. But yeah, let me move my bulk. What things do you think MetaZoo should have done differently? Genuinely, and some people might disagree, I think MetaZoo was doomed to fail from the start. I think that some large portion of why they're dead is because of the boom. They might have only survived because of the boom. But printing 100,000 here and 100,000 here, because people told them to, and because the money, the tendies, the whatever, that was their doom right there. That was their demise. The word, big thing on my channel, the word enough exists. And I think once you go from making millions, like I will probably never make as much. Sometime in the next few years, I will probably never make as much. Let's take the 5-year span from 2020 to 2025. There's a decent chance that I never make as much. Yearly, hourly, however you want to look at it. I will never make as much again as I did between 2020 and 2025. Hell, if I'm lucky, maybe between 2020 and 2030. There's a solid chance. Most people aren't fine. Most people keeping up with the Joneses, spend it all, spend all you got, lifestyle inflation, hedonic treadmill, all these things that I always talk about. Once you've had a taste of that life selling 100,000 booster boxes and the salary and the income that comes off that, you can't go back. MetaZoo could probably exist tomorrow, printing 25,000 more, printing maybe 15,000, maybe 10,000. There's a decent chance they don't want to. One, the investors, the board, financials, like you don't want that out of your investments. You don't want that retraction, right? And maybe Mike, like I don't know Mike, never met him in real life, talked to him a little bit in DMs here and there, but maybe the prospects of making $1 million a year, random made up numbers. Maybe the prospects of making what he was making and then making 10% of that was just not attractive to him. Me personally, I am quite confident I will never make as much in a year as I am going to between like 2020 and 2025. And I'm fine with that. Like I am very secure in knowing how much is enough. I'm very confident what I want out of life, what I value in life. And it's not, money's not the end all be all. Money is a means to an end. Once I get enough, and for anyone familiar with like financial independence, blah, 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 all that, FIRE, financial independence, retire early, I'm not going to retire early. I'm always going to stay busy. I'm always going to do something. I really enjoy eBay. I've always enjoyed eBay. I sold coins. I sold steins. I sold video games, all different kinds of things. But I'll always do something. But leaving the workplace, quitting my job to do this full time, that was a big step towards financial independence. That was a big step towards controlling my time. Freedom. Financial freedom. I actually like financial freedom better than financial independence. If you don't have enough money, money controls you. Money sets your schedule. You have to go work for money. And I'm still at that point in my life. I have to work for money because I don't have enough to fund the rest of my life. A lot of people see money as a means to an end in the short term. Money lets me go to the bar Friday night. Money lets me go on vacation. Money lets me buy a fancy new car, fancy new clothes. I'm wearing a $0 Floric Grill Greaser Pete shirt. I probably got 100. I probably have a wardrobe for the rest of my life in Floric t-shirts. But a lot of people see money as a means to an end. Newest phone every single year. All this, and that's fine. Money, spend it how you want. It's your money, right? I see money as a tool to freedom. I try to buy my time, my future time. I try to buy my ability to not have to go sell my time to other people. I try to buy my freedom. 25 times your annual expenses, theoretically. The entire FIRE movement, the entire financial independence movement is built upon the work by Bill Bengen. Look up Bill Bengen, William. I think he goes by Bill. The 4% rule, the Trinity study, lots of different things you can look up there. The Fountain of Youth, if only we could find that, right? But Warren Buffett, 90-something years old. His buddy, his partner, Charlie Munger, just passed away a few months ago at 90-something years old. He would trade his billions of dollars of wealth with any of us for our time, for our health. Because it's not all about money. And to me, I want to get to 25 times my annual expenses so I can choose what to do with my time. So I can not be forced to sell it at a workplace that I don't enjoy. To spend a bunch of time throughout some of the best years of my life doing things that I don't want to do. That's where I'm at. Let me scroll back up. Oh, was our friend here? Did they leave? I see Poke Knowledge message retracted. What kind of messages are we retracting? I can't. Grimer Collect says, how big of a castle can you build with your remaining zoo product? 480 boxes is what I had yesterday. I sold probably 80 to 100 boxes in the past 2 days. I don't know how I'm going to pack up all the boxes that I have to ship tomorrow. I have a dentist appointment tomorrow morning. And my daughter's going to be helping me pack a bunch of MetaZoo. But yeah, I have probably 350 to 400 boxes left. I'm opening 6 of them. Probably more orders are coming in to some extent. What am I going to do with the rest, though? No one's asked me that yet, or at least I haven't seen it. I am going to bury deep in inventory, deep inventory. Probably 4 cases of each set. I don't have 4 cases of Cryptid Nation First Edition. So if those get if Cryptid Nation First Edition, if I can buy cases of that for like $400, like 30, 35 a box, I would probably buy like 2 cases of that. And then if it went down in half again, if I can buy that for 10, 20 bucks a box, Cryptid Nation First Edition I'm talking about, that would be crazy. If I could buy those for 10 a box, I would buy 4 cases just to have those. Wilderness is another set that I didn't open that much of. I was a partner for UFO, Seance, and Native, so I'll be able to give maybe a little bit more color commentary there on what's going on. But nice send-off for MetaZoo, I think. I'm enjoying opening these boxes. Can't believe I pulled the red ink. But anyways, where was I going? Yeah, what do I think they should have done differently? I think they were doomed from the start. I think they were doomed by the boom. I got Big Bird. Genuinely. I think that they flew too close to the sun. They were propelled too close to the sun by the insanity that was the whole COVID pandemic bubble and all that stuff. I think in hindsight, but it's stupid. It's so stupid because it's like the solution was to print less, but when they did, when the Kickstarter didn't sell out, they got criticized for being artificial scarcity, blah blah blah. Stupid people, if they printed 25,000 like they did for first edition, and then for Nightfall did 25 still. Nightfall they printed 50. They doubled the print run. They 10x'd it. From Kickstarter to first edition. That box went to 1,000 after a 10x in print run. And then they doubled the print run again. And the box went to like 200-300. And then they doubled the print run again. And they ran with that. And then it killed it. Because it was too much. Because they listened. Well, part of it was them listening to stupid people who don't know what's best, how to run a card game. I'm stupid too. I don't know how to run a card game either. With respect to running a card game, I'm very stupid and ignorant, and I don't know what I'm doing. But the whole game piece thing, the whole thing Rudy rants about, I'm very much on Rudy's side with all that stuff. And had they imagine how criticized they would have been had they printed 20. How can you play a game? How can there be a game if you only print 25,000? You're just artificial scarcity stonking, blah blah blah. And maybe it would have survived though if they did 25,000 of every set. 25,000 of every set, maybe 50,000. Maybe stay with Nightfall's 50,000. Not get into the pin club so heavily, not get into the eBay. Way too many collabs. Argos has made great videos talking about the issues with having so many chases. Magic. I mean, Troll and Toad stopped carrying Magic because of all the variants, because of all the complexity, fulfilling and maintaining an inventory of all those products. It's just crazy. Let me see. 200 people still here. This is crazy. That's a hard Mountain Dew. There's nothing in this Mountain Dew, I promise you. Preach the fireways, Dan. Nice to see you, Ava's Binder. A lot of people in here tonight. I will try to hang with live chat. I will also try to go. My non-live chat is actually at 9:38 p.m. My non-live chat. Let me scroll in my non-live chat because if it jumps to the bottom, it's all gone. Let me see if I can find. The S&P 500 will increase at a rate of 5 to 8% in the next 5 to 10 years. Sounds fine. I'm fairly confident that will happen. I have no idea. I have a pretty good idea. No guarantees. I will buy back your MetaZoo promos. I will not buy back your S&P 500. But there is, I could be wrong here. I think there's never been a 10-year period in the S&P 500 where it was a negative return across 10 years. 20 certainly. Maybe 10. I don't think there was in 10. But definitely not in 20. But over 20 years, I am quite confident. I have no idea where MetaZoo. I don't know where MetaZoo will be in 20 years. I'm pretty sure it will be a 20-year-old dead TCG. Could have had a revival in there somewhere. Could be going on as revival. Probably not. I wouldn't bet on it. But I'm quite confident. People will still be buying Coca-Cola. Shopping at Walmart. For their fine meats at Walmart. I'm pretty sure people will still be buying home improvement stuff at Lowe's. Dividend aristocrats specifically, like I love the dividend aristocrats. The companies that for 25 plus years have increased their dividends through the COVID crash, through the 2008 housing crisis, through the 99.com bubble, through the 80s flash crash, all the inflation, through all that stuff, and obviously 80s is over 25 years old, but there are some companies, look up dividend aristocrats. My portfolio is heavily S&P 500 with a slant towards big dividend increasing, dividend paying companies. We've gotten none of the chase cards in MetaZoo in UFO yet. But all this stuff that I do in cardboard, all this crazy crap I do in cardboard is built on a foundation of very good financials. Is this real MetaZoo Games YouTube? I can actually click go to channel and I can see. I don't think you can do that as a viewer. This is not MetaZoo Games YouTube in here. Not surprisingly. They have 2 subscribers, so it is not them. I think as a viewer in the stream, you can't click on someone's name and go to channel. In before someone says the official MetaZoo channel probably only has 2 subscribers. Haha, they probably have at least 20 or 30. I don't know. Pee-wees, that is not... Oh, it might be MetaZaddy, I don't know. It might be MetaZaddy. I'm not that familiar with MetaZaddy, but I'm in the Oasis Discord, Argos's MetaZoo Discord. There's some characters in there for sure. I haven't kept up too much, but have I heard about the sale to Bandai potentially? I heard that theory. I have no idea. No insider information. One thing that I will say, I didn't think on it as deeply as a lot of people who hate MetaZoo did, apparently. But when the socials went down and then came back up, what that felt like to me, when the Instagram, I don't know if the YouTube did too, whatever socials went down and then came back up, that felt like a transfer of ownership of the socials. I'm not saying a transfer of ownership of the company. I'm saying a transfer of ownership of the socials. Presumably, this card's actually fairly hard to pull. There was a stretch where I was selling this card for like $15 a pop. I don't know if it's playable or what. Basic, help me out. Probably is. But there was, what was I saying? I just got lost. Foo Fighters. This is one of the ones. Not this Foo Fighters, but there's a Foo Fighters that's serialized that went to space. It's not this one. It's a different artwork. That's not the one. But I think I was talking about... Oh yeah, the socials being transferred. Like I'm logged into my YouTube, my Instagram, my everything here. If I were to sell Catch 'em All collectibles, there's not much there to be sold. Just like MetaZoo, like what's there to be sold? Not much. There would be a time period where, especially if I was potentially being forced out, which could be a thing, I don't know. It would make sense that I would like log out of everything. I know, like I have 2-factor authentication on everything. High security as much as possible. There's a way to like force log out of everything, deactivating account, reactivating it, under new email addresses, under new 2-factor authentication, under new pins and all kinds of things. Like that is what I felt like happened. Whether that's a thing, I don't know. I have no idea. Whether or not that's what happened, that was my gut reaction when the socials went down and then came back up. When the socials went down, I just figured like, hey, the company's dead, the socials are gone, it's done, it's over. When they came back though, that was my initial reaction. Whether or not that's what happened, I have no idea. But it felt reasonable. Basic says it's definitely playable, it's a board wipe. ZNG Emporium in here for the MetaZoo. Dan can't sell his company because it has a nondescript orange lizard as the logo. I don't know why I wouldn't be able to sell my nondescript orange lizard as my logo. Peter C says 3.6k subscribers. Maybe that's how many MetaZoo has. I don't know. Only company that can mess up MetaZoo more is Bandai. I think they doesn't Bandai print TCGs into the ground historically? MetaZoo's already been printed into the ground. So maybe they'll buy it and maybe they'll sort it out. I don't know. What's the worst thing they're going to do? They're going to print it into the ground twice? A second time? Seance. So we pulled nothing that great. Obnoxious 9, I think it was called in UFO. And we didn't pull any of those. We didn't pull any serialized cards that went to space. With Seance, let's see if we can pull any of the Hateful Eight. What's my favorite set? I really enjoyed, at the time that I opened them, UFO was my new favorite set at that time. I engaged with it so much more than the prior sets. I enjoyed Seance a lot, like the dark theme. I'm not one, I'm not going to turn this into like a basic live stream, or like a lot of podcasts have that question of, do you believe in ghosts? I'm not a big like supernatural, all that kind of stuff. Seance very much plays into that theme. I'm not into it for that, but like the color styles, again, the packs, I like the art, I like the color styles, I like the art styles, the chase, the potential to pull. In every pack you open, there's a potential you pull something extremely rare, and that's just cool to me. So in hindsight, I will probably say native, then UFO, then Seance. As far as like the ones that I was a partner for, artwork, all that stuff, everything considered, Nightfall was really cool. I didn't engage with it enough to fully say, but I would probably say, man, it's tough. I would probably say Nightfall, then Native and UFO, and then Wilderness would be like on the next tier. I'd have to do like a tier list. I'm terrible at picking favorites. Even in Pokemon, I can't pick like a single favorite Pokemon. But yeah, let me scroll down in the chat. Let me see if I can grab another question or two. I'm over an hour behind here. I'm gonna lose it all soon, I'm sure. Bullish on Digimon. I appreciate the $2 super chat. I missed that earlier. If you're holding bags, is MetaZoo a fire sale now, or are you holding any? As I said a little bit ago, about 4 cases of each main set. Not 4 cases of I have two. I have two Kickstarter boxes. I intend to hold both of those for now. Should I sell it for $500? Should I sell it for $750 if I could get it? Probably. I don't need $750. I don't need $500. It's not like an amount of money that's gonna tilt the scales in any direction. So I'm gonna go down with the ship. Let's see. Seems like prices have risen a bit over the last few days and sales have been temporarily high. You think prices will fall back down or current prices will be the floor for a while? I think between now and 10 years, there will be ebbs and flows, as there always are. I think the price will be a slow trickle down. Slow down to the right for almost everything in MetaZoo. If you needed the money, if you have money tied up and stuff in MetaZoo, the eyes on MetaZoo are at probably a peak for what they will ever be again right now. I have 200 people in a live stream about MetaZoo. My average Pokemon live stream, 60 people, maybe 70 people. It's triple my average Pokemon live stream. My average MetaZoo live stream, that's probably worse than my average RuneScape live stream. My last RuneScape live stream had 10 people in it. If I did a MetaZoo live stream 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks, well, there was enough drama 2 weeks ago that it would have gotten people. If I did a MetaZoo live stream 2 months ago, I probably wouldn't have had 10 people. And there's 200 people here now. The eyes are on it. So if I had to sell, I have sample cards. I'm not going to fire sell them. If somebody really wants them, if you're out there and you really want them, and I don't care if you turn around and flip them and make money. Like, it's not going to hurt my feelings. Once you own them, you own them. But if anyone out there sees something on my eBay that they really want, send me a message. Send me a number. It's not going to offend me. I probably won't take most of them. My Bigfoots, my stuff like that. That's PC. That's PC Grails forever. But yeah. If I needed the money, I would absolutely have everything at auction right now. Fire sale, blow out, sell it all. Because I think most stuff from here is going to be down and to the right. Down slow. I don't think most of it will, like, most of the good stuff, people would say that's an oxymoron. Haha. Most of the good stuff, though, I don't think will ever go to zero, but the liquidity might go to zero. So even though the prices don't go to zero, if you auction it, that might go for zero. Liquidity matters. And dead TCG, dead CCG liquidity is not like what MetaZoo was when it was around. It's not like what Pokemon is whatsoever. Dead TCG liquidity can be dark. Right now, we're in such a crazy time for cardboard that a lot of dead CCGs have had a revival, and they have way more value, way more liquidity than they had historically, and probably will have in the future. I think we're in like a super bubble of sorts in cardboard. And I could be wrong. I could be wrong. I say that having and holding a lot of MetaZoo. Wingok. I was going to say, there's a promo of Wingok. I think there might be a serialized card of that. It's a different variant. Maybe like the promo one. That's not it, though. I don't think I've pulled any Hateful Eight yet. Lady Luck is in this one. Well, there's 8 of them. I probably won't be able to remember all of them. But I want to see a Hateful Eight. We're getting scammed after that red ink. Set ourselves up for failure after that. After setting the expectations so high. I'm down to one last box. Native, which I opened more of than any other set. The Fusion Ores, native. So I opened 10,000. You get either a good box, a very good box, or a very bad box. Usually, you will have either multiple native 19 or 0 native 19. There's not many boxes that have like they have 1 or 2 on average, but not every box has 1 or 2. There's a lot of 0s, and then there are some like 4 or 5s. So native is feast or famine. We'll see if we feast or famine tonight. I'm gonna rip through these, and then I'll go full screen. I'll kind of hang out more with chat. I might go for a long time. I have more boxes over there if people want me to rip more. Dan, you've always made it clear that it was a high-risk move and that you invested a very small percent towards it. I don't understand the hate. Who cares? Yeah, I'm not like... I'm realistic. I am not surprised that there are some amount of people that are here for my whole Happy Gilmore skit earlier. That's why I gave them that. But business is booming. Catch 'em All Collectibles is as financially solvent and strong as ever. As much as that will hurt some people to hear. I'm sure some people are here to dance on MetaZoo's grave. MetaZoo is as bad as it has ever been. But Catch 'em All Collectibles is going strong. Let's see if we get any of the native 19. What personal interactions did you have with Mike? What kind of person do you remember him as? Very minimal. And maybe it's because I was a partner. Maybe it's because I was spending a lot of money with him. When I went into MetaZoo hours, I occasionally would go into a MetaZoo hour in Discord. I would ask questions. I got banned once. I got temp banned for like 2 days or something. I didn't care. So some people would get banned in there and they would get so crazy over it. And it's like, holy shit. So, and some people would deserve it. Like, I forget what I even said or did. I think I poked a little bit and I got a 2-day ban and I stuck it out and then I came back. But some of my MetaZoo hours would be answered. Again, maybe because I was a partner. Some I asked before I was a partner and I got banned once. And a lot of them got answered though. It was just like, hey, whatever I asked and he answered it, and that was the bulk of my interaction with him. Maybe 5 times he answered a MetaZoo hour chat of mine. Other than that, 20 DMs maybe. 20 DMs across a couple years. And a lot of times it was just like business. A lot of times it was just, hey, my order, hey, this, that, hey, some NFT stuff. And it was just business, and business was taken care of generally. There were times, even as a partner, there were times that my emails weren't answered, my DMs weren't answered, and it was a little frustrating. So I think what was publicly facing is like delays, bad customer service. That would be my general thing. That would be my general complaint. I'm on the same page with all that. As far as him, I've heard very negative takes towards him. I've heard very negative interactions that people had with him. I never saw any firsthand. I never had any negative ones with him. I think overall, I'm a very, there we go, a Fusion Aura. I think I'm a very agreeable person overall. I've never been in a fight. There we go, back to back Fusion Auras. I get along with most people. I don't really have YouTube beefs. I know YouTube beefs were a big thing in the Poke space recently. I'm kind of friends with like all the sides of the various dramas, and Brad's gonna chime in that I'm a snake that talks to the enemy, and I don't have enemies. And I never really had negative interactions with Mike. I told you, it's feast or famine for us. Brad says, I'm just waiting for the day Dan has to go back to work at the engineering plant. Never. Question, do I have a Ho-Oh EX card? I had one on eBay that sold recently. The Japanese promo one. How are the NFTs doing? Grimer, the NFTs. Funny thing. I think I could have sold the NFTs at peak for like 40 grand. Something insane. To some people, 40 grand is life-changing. I think most people who say that 10 grand, 20 grand, 40 grand would be life-changing. It wouldn't be life-changing. They would go on a vacation that they probably shouldn't go on. Maybe they would buy a car they probably shouldn't buy. Maybe they would pay down debt. Maybe they would, some amount of people would take 40 grand and change their lives. Very, very few. 40 grand at the time, that was a handful of PSA 9 Unlimited Charizards. That was 40 Jungle Eevees and Jungle Pikachus. It was nothing. Whatever. Hindsight, sell it all. Take 40 grand. Put it into Bitcoin. Become a billionaire. Like, it's so easy to go back and say, I could have optimized, I could have done this, I could have done that. If I hadn't gotten to MetaZoo, how much... Like, I didn't lose money in MetaZoo, but I probably only made 20 grand. I probably made 20 grand working... Maybe I only made 10 grand. Maybe I only made 10 grand working 1,000 hours. Maybe I made 10 bucks an hour. Had I sold it all, had I navigated it perfectly, I probably could have made a couple hundred grand. Had I timed everything perfect. My net worth could be a couple 100,000 higher. My net worth and or my inventory. If I navigated Pokemon, I sold these at $250 a piece for a while. I sold dozens of these between $150 and $250. Had I navigated MetaZoo perfectly, I could have made hundreds of thousands of dollars, and I could be worth hundreds of thousands more today than I am currently. If I navigated Bitcoin perfectly, I could be a billionaire. We all could be. And I was there. Like, some people would say, well, I wasn't there, I didn't know about it. I was there. I was there when it was 8, and I saw it go to 2, and I saw it go to 50. I was always there. I've always been watching a little bit. I've made 6 figures, but most of it's still in Bitcoin. And it's obvious. 10 years from now, it'll be obvious. I should have had more in it, or I should have had none in it. Is it going to go to 0? Is Bitcoin 0 in 10 years? Is it 50 grand? Is it 5 grand? Is it a million? It's obvious 10 years from now what it is in 10 years. Not obvious today. If I navigated the boom correctly with Pokemon, I could be worth $1 million more today. That's just with selling what I had already. I'm not even talking about like buying more and selling more. If I bought more and sold more, I could have any amount of millions, right? That's silly. That's the whole. That's one of the. Or no, that's hoof glue. Powder turquoise is the serialized card I got. But if I navigated Pokemon perfectly with the inventory I had, I could be worth more than $1 million more than I am today. It is what it is, right? Like, don't get stuck in the rear view. Don't lament over it. Don't spend the rest of your life feeling sorry for yourself. A lot of people do that. And it's not the way to go. It's not the way to be. I could have had an extra 40 grand if I cashed out all my NFTs at the high. Like, not long after that, the prices tanked. The liquidity went away. The NFTs have long been rough. 2 days ago, they completely died. Let's see. Dan convincing himself this venture wasn't that bad. Good memories. Let's see. Let me, there are probably very few and far between, the extreme exception. There are probably certain cards in MetaZoo that are going to sell in the next month for a price that is lower than they were sell 5 years or 10 years from now. Will it be a good risk-adjusted return relative to the S&P 500 or even Pokemon or crypto or whatever? Probably not. I am not advising you to invest in MetaZoo. But some stuff will probably go up. Just because number go up doesn't mean it makes sense. Just like 5% just in CDs, 5% just in like treasuries and stuff like that. If Bandai buys Zoo, they'll probably double print it into the grave. MetaZoo is the best thing that can happen to One Piece now because people will not hold strong on it. LOL, they get scared. I think some people in One Piece will look at MetaZoo as a cautionary tale of what could happen. A lot of people will be like, this is different. Like, they will feel stronger in their conviction in One Piece. Rightfully so, wrongfully so. I don't know. I don't know if One Piece will be alive in 2 years, 5 years. I don't know if buying at today's prices will be profitable or not profitable. But some people will feel better about their One Piece. Some people will feel worse about it. Overall, I have no idea. I heard those rumors DPD19. Fresh Tats has to check his dink doink. I have heard about that one. Mr. Walrus, I did not flip any sanitation products during the pandemic. I swear. If you never receive the items you pre-ordered, like Valentine's Day stuff, would you join a class action lawsuit if they are sued? No. I mean, if I have to click a button and then 2 years from now I get a check for like a couple bucks, I guess maybe I would click a button. But if it involves any more work than clicking a button, probably not, because there's nothing to come from it. Like, you can't get blood from a stone. I think I looked back. I'm out like $500-ish. I actually got the right there. I got the plushies, but I didn't get the promos. I'm out like $500 in promos, and I'm out. I think one streamer kit I bought. I'm gonna contact my credit card company, and I'm gonna try to charge back. A couple things I didn't get, I'm gonna try to charge back. Chargebacks are usually 90 or 180 days, but I spend so much money on my credit card. I'm gonna tell them. I'm gonna show them the statement made by MetaZoo, and I'm gonna say they didn't deliver this product, and I'll see. Like, maybe they'll do that one time. Good customer. He spent $1 million with us. He's trying to get $600 back. Let's throw him a bone. Maybe they'll do that. Maybe not. I have no idea about Dragon Ball Super. I know nothing about it. Then I bought Cryptid Nation 1 for $80 and sold for $800. Am I an idiot for buying MetaZoo like this chat makes it seem? You are very dumb for 10xing. I mean, how dumb can you be? When there's so much negativity around it, what made you decide to stay and ignore all the bad things said? I enjoyed it. And I was making money in it. In hindsight, since I profited in product mostly, I didn't make a good hourly rate, but I made money in MetaZoo. I made money in MetaZoo. I'm pretty dumb. I might buy a Kickstarter box. Not financial advice. I just jumped to the bottom. So, live react to Nick's. I don't like reaction videos. I really don't like reaction videos. I'm gonna look really quick. So MetaZoo is not dead. The story just got weirder, and it's got Bandai in the thumbnail. I don't like the videos that speculate, that are so built on speculation. I don't want to react to it. Just going by the title and the thumbnail, he has way more information than I have, or he's made a video that will probably get tons of clicks and tons of views based on very little. And this goes on and like, I'm not faulting him. There's a market for it. Like, he is supplying where there is a demand. He's running a business, and business is to get clicks, and that baby's gonna get clicked. But I like to. This channel is about my business, how I'm navigating it, why I'm doing what I'm doing, and I just don't like the ones with so much speculation. So I'm all the way down in chat. I'm going to scroll back and try to find more questions. If I missed your questions above, I probably missed a million of them. Feel free to leave them again. Use the stop sign. If you want your question found, use the stop sign emoji because it really helps. So many people have bought from me on the past couple days on eBay, TCG Player, Troll and Toad. So many boxes are being bought. I hope they're not for investments. Maybe it'll pan out. But if I dump, as I said, about 500 boxes, I'm going to sell about, if I keep 6 sets, if I keep 4 cases of each, that's about 300 boxes. So I'm going to sell approximately 200 boxes. I've already sold half. I've already sold about half of what I intend to sell. Once I get there, could be by Friday at this pace, I'm going to pretty much take things down. And I'm going to put away my 4 cases of each set, and I'm going to see what happens. If in hindsight, it all goes to zero, liquidity goes to zero, it's like a couple, 300 boxes times $5,000 maybe. It's not $5,000 minus shipping, minus fees. Maybe it's $2,500. It's not like, it's not going to sink me. It's not going to be a huge deal. They're not going to take up any space that I'm utilizing otherwise. I'm going to literally just like bury them out of sight, out of mind, and see what happens. I'm not drinking liquor. I promise. My voice is still slightly gone because I was sick. I was super sick last week. But no, I'm just I'm drinking 7.5 ounce as a 250 pound grown man. I'm drinking 7.5 ounce Mountain Dews. Am I bringing MetaZoo to Dallas? I do not intend to have MetaZoo at Dallas. I will have $20 bills in case anyone wants to sell my promos back to me. There is a new planned wave. It's going to be 50 cards. I'm going to do Wave 3, because I did 2 waves, 50 cards each wave. Wave 3 will be 150 card wave of a new style Catch 'em All Collectibles stamped partner promo. It is currently underway. The cards are off-site for their production, I guess. For their... I don't know what to call it. It's not going to give away what's being done to them, but I'm not going to sell you a Kickstarter box. Basic still needs hollow auras. If anyone out there needs stuff that I don't have listed, hit me up. Like, I might throw together. They're gonna be ugly as hell, but I have so much Pin Club. I have these Flork things. I will fill an 18 by 18 by 18 box if you pay me like $50 plus shipping. Depending on where you live, I don't know what that's going to cost to ship. Shipping alone could be 20, 30, $50 more if you're like Hawaii or Alaska or international, way more. But yeah, if anyone really enjoys MetaZoo and wants to get a bunch of product for a lot less than, well, I can't even say for a lot less than I could individually sell it because it might not sell individually. I have so much bulk, so much random stuff, so many playmats. I'm selling playmats for like $10 a pop right now. After shipping, I'm making like $5 a piece. I want to move out high volume quantities of stuff to just get it out of here. I don't want it taking up as much space as it has been, for sure. I'm glad you still have faith in MetaZoo, Dan, from Mike Waddell. Highly doubt this is the actual Mike Waddell, but yeah, I personally think MetaZoo's probably done. Bandai buys it, someone else buys it. Mike was forced. I have no idea. It could come back, and if it does, I'll have 4 cases of each set, and I'll have 2 Kickstarter boxes, and I'll have some sample cards, and I'll have my serialized NFT promos, and I have my gold medal partner promo, all that stuff. Question, is there support groups for people that hate MetaZoo? They need a place to heal. They can't go live every Thursday and talk about the same thing. Oh, they can. There are support groups on Facebook, in various Discords, various YouTube live streams. There are a lot of places for people who hate MetaZoo to gather. And usually it's amongst people who enjoy MetaZoo and are trying to talk about MetaZoo in some like positive, reminiscent fashion. But, oh, man. Dan, random question. Do you have a Rockets Moltres First Edition PSA 10 Gem Heroes? I need it for my holo set. I don't believe so. Whatever I have is on eBay. I'm quite certain I don't have one of those. Dan will sit on 4 cases of MetaZoo releases, but not 4 cases of each Pokemon release. That's how confident he is in MetaZoo. I can't afford to sit on 4 cases each. Now that MetaZoo's done, there's only 6 sets. Like, it's a fixed, finite amount. If I was getting Pokemon for $50, $56 a box, I would probably be sitting on 4 boxes or 4 cases of each set. I have all the way back to Darkness Ablaze. I have 4 cases of most sets now. I don't have quite 4 of Evolving Skies, but I just had a pallet land the other day. I have multiple large buyouts of other people's Pokemon inventory. What I have in MetaZoo is dwarfed financially, volume-wise, dollar-wise, like quantity-wise, everything in every way. What I have in Pokemon dwarfs what I have in MetaZoo. Let's see if I can find more stop sign questions. Dan is charging back. Yeah, I'm absolutely going to charge back things that I was supposed to get and I didn't get, right? I mean, that's what chargebacks are for. I've never charged back anything in my life. These are going to be the first chargebacks I've done. Mile High Casters Club just bought some stuff. Should I keep my MetaZoo promos? Do you enjoy them? Do you value them more than the market will currently net you if you try to sell them? If so, keep them. If not, sell them. This is one, I didn't highlight it because I wasn't here in chat, but I did not flip any sanitation products during the pandemic. Appreciate you, Mr. Walrus. True 5% consignments available. We got Andy. I believe that's Andy. We got Andy in here. We got Mike in here. We got the official MetaZoo Games YouTube channel in here. Are you ashamed at all for the MetaZoo sales? Not at all. I'm no more ashamed for the MetaZoo sales than I am for the $6,000, $8,000 PSA 9 base unlimited Charizards. I've sold stuff in Pokemon that's gone down as much, if not more, percentage-wise than what I've sold in MetaZoo. Kickstarter box I sold for $9 grand. That's probably the highest percentage of anything I've sold. $9 grand goes down to 450. That's 95%. Did anything I sell in Pokemon go down 95%? Maybe not 95, but probably 80 to 90 for sure. So, but no, not at all ashamed. I mean, the person on the other side of the transaction, as with all Pokemon, like I told people during the boom, don't buy this stuff. It's crazy. Every day I was selling these $1,000 Eevees, $1,000 Pikachus. Didn't believe in it. I went on Radar's channel. I went on Jake's channel. I started my own channel. And the same way, like I talked about it an hour ago, 2 hours ago, whenever. This hasn't even been going 2 hours yet. We're early. The net is young. But when I was selling $300 Evolutions boxes, $500, $600 Evolutions boxes, I thought those were going to go back down to 100, 200. Blows my mind they're still as high as they are. A lot of people, more money has been lost at the hands of some of the stuff that I sold in Pokemon. To be fair, the first several years of Pokemon, everything I sold is higher. Everything I sold in Pokemon from 2014 to 2020, maybe February, everything is higher. I think universally. But the amount of money I took out of Pokemon, I only took net 20 grand out of MetaZoo tops. I took hundreds of thousands and will continue to take many, many hundreds of thousands. If things go well enough, if things go on long enough, I will take 1 million, maybe millions out of Pokemon. I didn't take that out of MetaZoo. Let's see. Do you think anyone will buy VIP? Have you opened the Hello Kitty box? I have not opened any Kuromi. I've not. The last thing I bought was a streamer kit. I don't know why I bought it. I shouldn't have bought anything out for Native. I told myself I wasn't going to buy anything after Native. I was only going to buy War moving ahead, only full partner discount. I bought this box from Jake. I bought this box from Jake. So Jake got the hookup on whatever collection he bought. This was Jake pawned off his bags on me, and then I get the last laugh with this $20 Red Ink promo. Let's see. Why does this Walrus guy have a wrench? I'm not liking his energy. Walrus is the live stream goat. He's a regular here. Chris Texas got banned for 2 years. It felt like high school again. I was a good boy in high school. I didn't get banned from anything in high school. Dan want to fight in Dallas. That's probably over when I said I never been in a fight before. I do not want to fight in Dallas. I'm a gentle giant. I got banned for about a year for no reason I can recall, and I got unbanned. I got banned twice after the great unban. That's crazy. I only ever got banned once, and it was like 2 days. Oh, man. This is funny. I'm going to go up in chat as far as I can. I think I'll lose it at like an hour ago. I'm like 20 minutes ago right now in chat. I'm going to go back to about an hour ago, and then I'll try to stay current. Why do I feel like there's crazy momentum behind MetaZoo right now? Yeah, the theory that I've heard, and it's probably just people messing around. It's probably not going to happen. Let's say that MetaZoo's dead on Monday. Let people go nuts for a month. Let people burn their stuff. Let people throw their stuff away. Let the sales volume go up on all the all TCG Player, eBay, all this stuff. And then let's announce the release date for War. It's probably not happening, but who knows? It would not be the craziest thing that happened in MetaZoo. If I have 10K in MetaZoo inventory, what should I do, Dan? I have about 10K, 20K. If you need it, sell. If you have 10K market value as of today, and you need that money to pay your bills, to run your business, sell. That's what I would do. I don't need it. Business is doing well. Again, a lot of people are here that are not familiar with the channel. Not as a flex, not as what I do in Pokemon is many orders of magnitude, multiples higher than what I do in MetaZoo. The 10 or 20 grand liquidation value that I could get for all my MetaZoo tomorrow, it would sit in my bank account. I have enough money already. I have enough cash flow. I have enough capital that I can't, like, especially working nights. I'm currently working nights until next school year. I have more capital, more cash flow than I can even feasibly spend. Like, my time is more limiting than my money. I'm at that point in my journey where my time is more limiting than my money. If my money was more limiting than my time, I would wholesale it all out, and I would put it into stuff that could make me money. I put it into Pokemon. I would put it into flipping collections. Put it into grading cards. It's a theory. Did it on purpose to stage their comeback and ride to the moon? It's absolutely a theory. I don't think it's going to happen, but who knows? Let's see. How much to rip me a box of Seance? I don't want to sell people MetaZoo in this fashion. I thought about doing on my website having like $10 slots of like buy a box, serialized cards only. Imagine. Well, for Cryptid Nation First Edition, it probably would have been 50. Imagine if I did that for that. That would have been. I mean, might have still been negative EV. Even with the red ink, I seriously thought about putting up on my website box breaks or hits only, hits being serialized and higher, but I didn't end up doing it. I don't want to rip like that much, but am I interested in buying 100K War booster boxes? If War were to come out, say this is like a big joke. Say War comes out on May 1st, and I get it at $56 a box, which MetaZoo's dead, so I feel comfortable in saying what my partner price used to be. If distribution's going to be in the 70s, and I can get it at 56, I would buy... I bought 500 UFO, 500 Seance, and 500 Native. I would buy at least 200 War at $56 a box. 10 grand. I would throw 10 grand. I am in the green, in the black. I am positive in MetaZoo. At least 10 grand. I would put it all back in War and see what happens. I'm that crazy. I'm a gambler. I enjoy casinos responsibly. I enjoy the betting apps. I enjoy FanDuel, DraftKings. Not recommended if you have an addictive personality. I kind of do, but I'm good at setting limits. I am a gambler, and I would buy 10K worth of War. For sure. Did he already say if he's charging back unfulfilled pre-orders? Yeah, I would. If anyone has any pre-orders that were unfulfilled, it might be beyond. Unfortunately, it might be beyond your time frame for your credit card companies. But try. I mean, if you can spend 30 minutes on the phone with your credit card company and maybe make hundreds of dollars, that's a good hourly rate. Hey, new subscriber, do you think anyone will buy the IP? I've heard Bandai, maybe. I have no idea. No idea whatsoever. It would be a complete guess, and I try to not guess too much. MetaZoo's trying to poach Ava's binder as their accountant. We got Kai Size 7 in the chat. Oh, man. Let's see. Oh, ZNG Emporium, I forgot. I do have... It's just our PO boxes, so it's not going to give anything away. I'll hide the tracking in case that gives anything away. James, I want to bet against James. I'm probably going to unbox this live on stream tonight. Very unrelated to MetaZoo. Maybe he put some MetaZoo in here. I don't know. Who knows? James, if there's anything in this box that I can't open on stream, let me know. I'm a little worried. But I bet with him. My unlimited. I think it's here. Where is it? I think it's buried right here somewhere. My desk is a mess. As I said, I would not let it get anymore. It's right here. So I bet James a PSA 10 unlimited Pikachu. Current worth maybe $40. Worth during the boom, hundreds. In first edition, this was worth $1,000. This was probably worth a few $100s. I don't remember what unlimited peaked at. I bet this against his. Maybe he had an Eevee. Maybe he had a PSA 10 unlimited. He ended up increasing the bet. I didn't even accept. I think he sent me a fossil Japanese pack in here that he shouldn't have even sent. I told him not to send it because I didn't even accept his add-on bet. But we bet like a year and a half ago about that by the end of 2023, he thought $10 public grading would be open at PSA. And I thought not, and I was right. So I won. I'm going to open this soon. I need to clear some cards, but let me continue to work through the chat and see if James says anything. It's probably just, it should just be a card in a pack, but he might have put some memes in here. I don't know. Sounds like he used some good bubble wrap because there's not much going on in there. Nice packaging, James. Let's see. How recently did distributors sell you stuff? The last stuff I bought from MetaZoo that they actually shipped me was native back in April 2023. Dan, I'll give you everything in my pocket for your YouTube channel. I decline. I heard that Gary's going to Pawn Stars to film something with his uncut sample sheet, I believe, of MetaZoo sample cards. I'll be interested to see if that actually airs, if that actually happens. I'm printing war as I watch this live stream. 200,000 boxes. Are you interested in 100K? Oh man, that's funny. I'm at 11 o'clock right now. I'm almost gonna run out of chat, and then I'll be back to the live chat. Do you expect to get refunded on the Valentine's Day items you purchased? Does it annoy me? Yeah, I mean, I'd rather get stuff I buy. The stupid thing with that is, I got part of it. I bought the Valentine's stuff for the promos, and I got the plushes. It was a plush, but you get a promo. Technically, you were buying the plush and the promo came with it, but I was buying it for the promo. I got all the plushes, but I didn't get the promos. I gave my daughter one of these today. She took it to the post office, and they asked her if it was a bat, and I told him it was Mothman. One guy actually familiar with like some old Mothman movie. He's like, that's not the Mothman that I know from that movie, talking about whatever actor was in it. And but yeah, my daughter was carrying around a Mothman plush today. I went as far back as I could, so sorry for all the comments that I missed. I'm going to try to not miss more. I'm going to go live, and I'm going to try to stay live now. I do need to scroll back up. I'm at 11:23, so I'm 15 minutes behind in chat. I'm going to try to not get further. There are some amount of people that intend to do little meetups at Collecticons, that intend to do little like side event tournaments. I enjoyed MetaZoo. I never played it. Cryptid Clash. I don't know what's going to happen with it all. It'll be interesting to see what happens with it all. But apparently, a little tournament's going on here. MetaZoo Menace, February 9th. Yeah, I mean, I think MetaZoo will live on with certain people. I'll have it to some extent in my collection. I will have one of each box in my collection. I will have 4 cases somewhere stored away. But is going out of business better than going out of print? Kind of joking, kind of. It's like this. The most bullish thing for MetaZoo happened 2 days ago. The most bullish thing for MetaZoo in the past 6 to 12 months. Like the total market cap. It'll be interesting to check TerraPeak. Checking TerraPeak in like 6 months, in a year, 2 years. It'll be interesting to check TerraPeak just to see how much volume happened on eBay. My eBay alone, I probably did more in the past 2 days on my eBay than what I did in the past 6 months on my eBay and MetaZoo. Even though the prices were half. I'm talking like total dollar volume. Shipped way, like I don't want to ship 50 or 60 packages a day, but that's what I'm stuck doing for the next few days, I guess. MetaZoo Native, MetaZoo Plush, MetaZoo Native, MetaZoo Pin Club, MetaZoo Packs, MetaZoo Bulk. There's people buying MetaZoo Bulk. 4,000 bulk cards for $25 shipped. People are buying it. Like, what are they doing with it? This is people who enjoy MetaZoo. Some people always did. How much were speculators? How much were investors? How much were scalpers? How much were... I don't know. But some people enjoyed it. I'm not going to open a Kickstarter tonight. Definitely not. Bandai's buying Pokemon, says Mike Waddell. Do I keep my MetaZoo tattoos? Try to refund those. Try to hit the undo button. Control Z. if you like, message me. If you seriously want any of the ones I have on eBay, I understand that I have them very, very high. If you genuinely want them, like, message me. I might take them. I might not. I'm not selling my Bigfoot. I'm going to hang on to a couple Bigfoots at least. My sealed sample packs that I bought from Rusty, those are a big oof. I'm probably just going to, those are going to go down with the ship. Those are probably PC forever. One thing I will say too, that I'll probably add into my video on Saturday, all this stuff was bought as a business. All this stuff was bought with the intent for resale. Tax TikTok is hilarious. Tax Reddit, tax internet, tax YouTube. A lot of bad information out there. It's really funny. Some amount of people think a write-off like makes you money somehow. I promise you, a write-off does not make money. I am plus maybe 10, 20 grand in MetaZoo. There are people out there that are probably minus 10, 20 grand. There are probably people out there that are minus 50 grand. If you buy 50 grand as a consumer, one, where I live, you pay 9% sales tax. So you're 50 grand, you're only getting 45.5 grand worth of stuff because you're paying sales tax. Bought as a business, intended for resale, you're getting 50 grand worth of stuff for 50 grand. You're not paying 55 for or getting 45 grand. You know what I'm saying? You're not paying 10% on top sales tax. If you live in one of those few states, Delaware, Oregon, if you live in one of those states, sales tax isn't a thing. Disregard. But interacting with this stuff as a business, it's a lot less bad when it goes south. A write-off. One thing I wanted to like talk through, just because like financial education is so lacking. Tax education is so lacking. Death and taxes are the only two certain things in life. And you're not taught much about taxes. So as a business, let's take two theoretical people. One consumer. They're both 50K in the hole. 50K in the red from MetaZoo. The one, for 50 grand, the reseller, the business. For 50 grand, they get 50 grand worth of stuff. I mean, maybe they get it wholesale. Maybe they get it partner price. Maybe they might be getting 100 grand worth of stuff retail for 50 grand. The consumer paying 50 grand to get 45.5K plus tax. So they're already behind. They're already behind the 8 ball. And this is addressing. This is not for MetaZoo. This is just, if you're in one piece with intent for resale, investing, flipping, scalping, whatever, if you're trying to make money and you're doing it as a consumer paying sales tax, you are doing it the wrong way. Legally. You're legally doing it the wrong way. Per the like IRS, intending to make money, that's acting as a business. So I'm just trying to do this for like broad. I have 180 people watching. I will probably never have 180 people watching again. So I'm trying to push some information out there. So the business, they buy 50K worth of stuff with pre-tax money. Say the business in that given year, say they're a cash basis filer, say they made 150 grand. They spend 50 grand on MetaZoo off the top. That 50 grand comes off the top. Now they've only netted 100 grand, paying taxes on less money. They're buying with pre-tax money. There are not many things in life you can buy with pre-tax money. Most people can invest with pre-tax money. 401ks, IRAs. I heavily condone that. I do that heavily. A lot of times you can buy health insurance with pre-tax money. And depending on your effective tax rate, depending on your marginal bracket, buying pre-tax is, if you make a lot of money, it might be a 50%, 40%, 30% discount. So not only that, if you are a high income earner, W-2 job, buying as a consumer, 50 grand worth of MetaZoo, you might have had to make $100,000 at your job to generate 50 grand after tax. If you make $500,000 at your job, like, one, congrats, because you're killing it. I'm never going to make $500,000 in a year, like at a job like that. As far as like net worth, I mean, Pokemon did that for me as far as my inventory value went up. I didn't take that much out, but my inventory value, my net worth went up a lot. 2020, 2021. But anyways, if you make 500K and live in California, you're paying damn near 40, 50%. So for you to make 500K and get 50K after tax, that's 80 to 100K of your 500K pre-tax. Whereas if you're a business intended for resale, intending to make money, you're buying that with pre-tax money. You're spending 50K on inventory with pre-tax money, and you're not paying sales tax. Like, all these people investing in Lorcana, investing in, intending to profit in, doing business in, per the definition of the IRS. If you are doing business in cardboard, I don't care what game it is, if you are doing business in cardboard as a consumer, paying sales tax, spending after-tax money, what are you doing? What are you doing? Like, I'm not telling everyone to go out and you don't need to create an LLC. Tons of people rush to an LLC. By default, you opt into if you start doing business, if you start acting in a business manner, by default, you are a sole proprietor. You don't need to even do paperwork for that. Depending on where you live, blah, 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 consult a professional. But that's just a rant I wanted to put out there. I'll probably have a whole slide on it in my Saturday video for the whole MetaZoo thing. But it cushions the blow. Something being a write-off. If I were to have lost 20 grand in MetaZoo, it would be 20 grand pre-tax that's not getting taxed 30%, 35, 40%, whatever my marginal rate is for the given year, depending on how good my year went. So that's huge. That is huge. And a lot of people in this space, the vast majority are consumers. Consumers consuming, they should be paying sales tax. They should be using after-tax money. But some amount of people, disproportionately my small channel, very business-minded channel, a lot of people are there to make money. You should be operating as a business. You are harming yourself and your business, side hustle, whatever, by not doing things above board. Oh, that was the thing that I was looking for earlier. Inmates running the asylum. Yeah. Let's see. Do you think Hello Kitty bankrolled MetaZoo for the carnival set? I have no idea. Whether MetaZoo had to pay, whether... I've heard so many theories, I don't know. Let me catch up with chat so that I could... if you had 10K set away and could make a gamble leap into another TCG, what product would you invest in? I wouldn't gamble 10K into a TCG if that's all I had to gamble into a TCG. If everything was kosher and everything was good, if my sole intent was to make money, I would probably even go riskier into like some crypto or I don't know. But I would not do that. I have an extra 10K lying around and I'm not throwing it into another TCG. There are Kickstarters funding today, $1 million+ dollars. People are not learning. People will never learn. Some people are born to lose, as I talked about an hour ago. Let me continue to scroll down. I'm a little late, but what are your general thoughts? Nice to see you, Nick Strength and Pokemon. I can't say that I consumed a ton of your content over the years, but I have watched quite a bit in the last few days, and I enjoyed MetaZoo. My thoughts are the boom might have been what made MetaZoo the boom carried MetaZoo too close to the sun. Whether it was due to the investors or Mike's head getting too big, making all that money, making the print runs as high as they did, they flew too close to the sun, they got burned, and that ultimately killed it. Even though the boom might have made MetaZoo what it was, being made into what it was is what killed it. I think MetaZoo, if they started 6 years ago, if they started in 2018, not funded the Kickstarter fully, MetaZoo could still be making sets today, maybe with 10, 20, 30,000 boxes. TCGs can exist like that. Like so many people, it's not going to ever beat Pokemon. It doesn't need to. People get so weird. It doesn't need to do any of those things. It can exist. I think MetaZoo could have existed as a passion project. It could have been a very lucrative passion project for Mike and maybe a big team of people that he took with him. But I think the boom created it, turned it into a monster, and killed it. That's my take. I didn't watch your video yet today, Nick. I don't know if you have more information than I have, but I understand the whole speculative thing gets a lot of clicks, gets a lot of views, a ton of people, very entertaining. I'm not that entertained by it. I'm just someone who I like to have information. I don't like to have a lot of unknowns. So I'm just going to wait till we get new information. If Bandai buys it and I can be a partner, I might buy War, but we'll see what happens. Probably won't be a thing if Bandai buys it, right? It'll be normal distribution. I probably won't touch it at normal distribution prices. We've not burned any MetaZoo. Oh, yeah, Nick. Nick Strength and Pokemon will appreciate this. I opened one of each box because, again, I enjoyed MetaZoo. I enjoyed the journey of MetaZoo. I really like the art. I love that we knew how many were printed of each box. I love the style of the boxes, the security. The different hollow every set. I love that they put the tamper-proof stickers on the boxes. Doesn't matter now, they're not worth anything. But all the different like security things they did that Pokemon doesn't do, that Magic doesn't do. I really like all that stuff. And I opened one of each box. I opened Cryptid Nation First Edition all the way to Native First Edition. I never bought into Kuromi. I never bought into any of those other ones. But I pulled a red ink. The first thing, I mean, I went chronological order. I opened the box topper first before I opened the box. Red ink. I couldn't believe it. I could not believe it. Saki Soba actually told him, can't believe it. Can't believe it. Pokebarn sent me. Appreciate you, Pokebarn. Longtime follower of the channel there. Mr. Walrus heard rumors the queen isn't dead either. She's coming back stronger. Maybe the queen will announce MetaZoo's return. Who knows? Let's humor the idea that Bandai really is in the process of buying MetaZoo. I don't know anything about Bandai's history, but I've heard bad things. I just heard... I have some One Piece because my distributor sells it. I've been flipping it into the market. I've heard that they print sets to their death. Best case, maybe they don't do that with One Piece. Maybe they buy MetaZoo and they don't do that with MetaZoo. Maybe MetaZoo, like, I could see MetaZoo living on 10 years, 20 years, 30 years into the future. Just being this small thing. 5, 10, 25,000 boxes. There's probably some number where it could be a thing. And it could just, like, never unseat Pokemon, never become a big 3, big 5, big 10. It could just be a thing. Like, a lot of people like it. But you're going to have these boom periods. You're going to have people trying to stonk it. You're going to, like, could you print a 5,000 box a year, 5,000 box a set, 10,000 box a set thing for 10 years and have it go undisturbed? Have no one ever try to move in, buy out, like mess with it? These days, it's harder. It's a harder market to survive just because all the stonking that goes on. The stonking builds them up and then it leaves them in a bad spot when everything evaporates. This is getting gross. MetaZoo broke, but I ain't. Oh, man. That's funny. I don't have my 4% rule yet, James. If money doesn't buy you happiness, it's because you don't have enough. I'm going to butcher the quote again. I just said it recently. But Daniel Tosh, you've never seen anybody frowning on a wave runner. Money doesn't buy you happiness. Well, tell the people who say that it buys you a wave runner. I enjoyed MetaZoo though. My time with MetaZoo was fun. I'm going to try to get to where I'm live in the chat. Appreciate everyone hanging out as always. 149 people watching. Let me refresh and see how many likes I have. 149 watching, 95 likes. If you haven't hit it yet, please hit it. Push it out there. Let's see if we can get more people in here. But appreciate everyone hanging out. There's a 4chan thread. 4chan has quite a history. I don't think I've ever directly been on 4chan, but I've seen a lot of 4chan threads posted on Reddit. And place is interesting. I saw some 4chan threads that were posted in a Discord, and Bandai's already bought, and yeah, who knows? Who knows? Oh, there we go. Cardboard Comedy successfully did chargebacks with Amex and Chase. So call your credit card companies if they've ghosted you, rug pulled you on anything. Get your money back if you haven't gotten your product. Absolutely. Is VIP Fast Pass for a Collecticon worth it? Generally, I would say yes. If you're out there trying to look to buy, you're going to get it an hour earlier. You're not going to wait in such a long line. Sometimes the line for general admission is insane. Even VIP is kind of crazy sometimes, I think. But you get in there sooner. Theoretically, there might be deals there in the first hour that if you wait for general admission, they might be gone, right? So it depends on how you're going about it, potentially, depending on what your goals are, I guess, is what I'll say. Not trying to get people to FOMO into VIP. I think it helps you out with artists' signatures, but I'm not sure on that, honestly. I always go in an hour before the VIPs because I'm a vendor. I think there's likely some truth to what was posted on 4chan. I heard the same version of the story almost verbatim from two separate people that are fairly reputable last night before it was posted. Could be a thing. Like for being a MetaZoo partner, I am probably the least in MetaZoo of all the MetaZoo partners. I enjoy it. I'm primarily Pokemon. A lot of the MetaZoo partners are primarily MetaZoo. A lot of them are brick and mortar. A lot of them are into the TCG playing side of it. I'm not. I've never been. I've never been with Pokemon. I like the mass rip. I never really did mass rips in Pokemon to any extent, but I like mass ripping 5,000, 10,000 packs. My sister, my wife, my kids, like it's a family thing. I've had fun. If War comes out and I have access at partner pricing, I will mass rip War. We'll see what happens though. But yeah, if Bandai bought it, it will probably go normal distribution. I probably won't have access to it any lower than the average person does. I probably won't interact with it. Honestly, like I might buy a couple to open it for old time's sake, I guess. If I think I buy One Piece through Bandai at like high 60s or low 70s, and I have an OP05 box over there that's dinged up. That box is like $300, whatever it is. I don't know. But if Bandai's selling it for like 70, everyone else is getting it for 70. I have no advantage. As a partner, I was paying 56. And all the people through distribution were paying 80, 77, whatever, 75. That was a big advantage. And that's why as a business decision, I enjoyed it and I had a leg up. So I went for it. I would do it again with War, presuming I have a leg up. I did hear Argos say that. Argos got an email saying, like, from someone in MetaZoo saying, "Hey, we took the thing down. I can't tell you why, but make sure you pay attention to that." I think I don't think anyone's ever free for autos at Collecticon, but you do have to pay for all. Maybe some are free, but I think almost all of them you have to pay for. How mad will everyone dumping their product be when MetaZoo is bought and New Direction runs it properly? LOL, everyone needs to remember emotion has no place. Yeah, if you're making drastic business decisions, there's kind of a meme that I'm a robot. I do not understand or have human emotion. It's kind of a thing on this channel. It's kind of a thing in my actual life. If you have what is a significant amount of capital to you tied up into MetaZoo, like if you need it to continue operation, to make payroll, to keep your lights on, you're probably forced to sell some amount of it. But do not make a rash emotional decision based on what is conjecture, rumor mill at best. Be very cautious, tread lightly. Like I say it in Pokemon all the time. Everyone here, different foundation. We're all in the same arena, but we're playing different games with different rules. Not only are we playing different games, we have different rules. My rule for native was $56 a box. Your rule for native might have been $80 a box. Your rule for native might have been buying it for $100 on eBay. My goal, my game that I'm playing was to make money and enjoy my time making money as a business. Some people are just buying it as a consumer. Some people were trying to be a master caster, a basic caster, and win the tournaments and make a bunch of money. We're all playing different games, different rules. So I cannot advise anybody on how to handle their MetaZoo, but generally in life, emotionally charged, spur-of-the-moment decisions are generally ones that are more highly likely to be regretted and more likely to be poor decisions. I will just say that. I'm gonna try to get caught up. Did I get burned from MetaZoo? I mean, I probably worked for $10 an hour for the time that I was in MetaZoo. When I worked in Pokemon, I was probably making $100 an hour. So it is what it is, right? Most of my time was in Pokemon, so I did well. I could have done better though if I didn't touch MetaZoo, right? I've heard the theories. I'll watch Nick's video if I don't see it tonight. I'm probably going to be packing orders after that stream. I don't know. I might go to like 1. I don't know. I'm going to listen to his stream either tonight or tomorrow for sure. Or I don't think it was a stream. I think it was a video. I think it was like a 15, 20-minute video. Let's see. Some people who were buying $1,000 Jungle Pikachus probably bought $9,000 Kickstarter boxes. They probably bought $70,000 Bitcoin. They probably bought Dink Doink. Some people are born to lose. The whole get rich quick thing, I talked about it an hour ago, 2 hours ago, whenever it was. But yeah. Let's see. I live in Cali. Please stop talking about taxes. So we're at the point where I was talking about taxes. I love talking about taxes. How fast do tickets sell out in Collecticon? I might break up with my girl before October. As far as admission tickets, I think they've only sold out a couple times, and I think they've always sold out day of. Vendors sell out within hours or days, usually. Admission passes, maybe VIP sell out earlier, but I think admission passes sold out at like Long Beach one time, and I think they sold out in Houston, actually, the first day in Houston, because like Fire Marshal says, more people can't come in here right now. So, generally speaking, though, general admission tickets for Collecticons are usually available within a few weeks to the event, as far as I understand. Oh, that would be cool. Bandai's publicly traded. I didn't know that. So if the sale does happen, we could pull all the info in a couple days. That would be very cool. If MetaZoo were to be sold, yeah, I mean, they would have to disclose that in whatever filings and documents. I think those would only come up in like quarterly filings, like maybe that would be instantly disclosed. I guess maybe it would have to be. When a public company buys another company, even if it's private, there's probably some kind of disclosure that goes on. I'm not an expert on that whatsoever. What stage of grief am I on currently? Let me look up the stages of grief. I'm not well I'm not well attuned to what they are. So the 5 stages: denial, anger, bargaining, depression, and acceptance. I catapulted to acceptance. The first 4 steps, those are like human emotion type things. Robot Dan accepted it. Like, you cannot reject what is just, it's just information. There's no rejecting it. It's just information. You just take it, you rerun your calculations, you recompute your algorithms, and then you continue on. Why allow emotion to get in the way, right? It's a product that I engaged with, that I enjoyed, ceased to exist 2 days ago. It's not my favorite thing, but it's a thing. It's a thing. If I'm mad about it, if I'm sad about it, it doesn't change it, right? Maybe it gets bought, maybe it doesn't get bought, maybe it was already... We'll find out when we find out. Like, I don't need to talk about and speculate about. I probably will. Like, I will consume the videos, I just won't make the videos. There are enough people with bigger followings and more information. That's the biggest thing. There are people with more information. I don't have these insiders at MetaZoo messaging me, emailing me, do this, say that. Like, or yeah, I don't have that. So I'll let those people make the videos and see what happens. Let's see. What do you think happens to the OG cards if something like that happens? He's asking Nick, but if MetaZoo's a thing in 5 years, I think the original cards, maybe they'll never go up to what they did during the boom, but I think they'll go for higher. As I said a little while ago, I think things will sell in the next month. Like, I'm not going to fire sell this. I'm not going to go auction this for 20 bucks. Maybe I'll sell it. If some of those offers in chat earlier were real, maybe I'll sell it, but maybe I'll bag hold it too. I think cards and boxes will be selling in the next month for less than they will be going for in years, especially if they get bought. Which ones? Not all of them, not wholesale, not universally. Don't go invest because I'm saying these things. But I think some things will go up. Liquidity, though, if MetaZoo is dead, will likely go down, almost wholesale. Ava, I know you know this, but withholding is not like what you're actually going to be taxed on that. Bonuses are withheld at a much higher rate. But these things, like, you know this, some people listening know this, the general person does not know this. Every time at bonus season where I used to work, oh my God, I can't believe they take so much. I'm hardly getting anything. I hope I don't get a raise this year because then I'll make less money. All these things that you hear about taxes just drives me nuts. Drives me nuts. I was lagging again at 11:48. I apologize. I'm not changing anything. I don't know. Do you think MetaZoo would have survived if you talked this passionately about it last year? So last year, I was live streaming to about 20 people on MetaZoo. I do not think me talking more passionately about it a year ago, well, little less than 10 months ago, I was breaking native on stream. Probably not this passionately, but I wouldn't have saved it. My 20 people watching wouldn't have saved it. It would be interesting to see. Some people are so hurt. Like, where on the doll, where on the Quaxley did MetaZoo hurt you? I've said that 20 times. I've got to say it once. Some people got hurt so bad by MetaZoo, they will like continue on Facebook. They are on a crusade for the rest of their lives as long as MetaZoo lives. Which they were vindicated Monday. Maybe it's dead forever. Maybe it's dead only for a little bit. Maybe we'll get a dead cat bounce and then it'll really die again. But it's sad to be so hate against it and follow it so passionately. And some people will do that through Bandai though. But if Bandai buys it, like I'm not a huge fan of talking so speculative because I just have no idea. Mountain Dew Dan going off about taxes, best stream in a while. Oh man. Let's see. Bandai already has plenty of dead TCGs they need to manage. They don't want another. Boom. I don't know their history. Like, I don't know all the TCGs. I've heard a lot about how they overprint, game piece, kill things. I don't know what they did. Can't figure out what MetaZoo would actually sell to Bandai. The cryptids are all public domain. I mean, they have a TCG. They have a TCG built around it. They have their own rendition of the cryptids. They have Adam Ackler. They have like something going on. Whether anyone wants that, whether there's any value, I have no idea. But they have something, right? They have something there. They probably have some amount of product. They probably have a bunch of debt. It probably exceeds their product. There's probably something to buy, but I don't know how much. No idea. Sam Sinclair. How's it going, Spicy Boys TV? So Dan, I take it you're never going to sell another TCG other than Pokemon again. No, I actively am selling One Piece. I get allocations of One Piece. Someday, I expect One Piece to burn me. I will allow MetaZoo. I will allow One Piece to burn me to some extent. I've made thousands of dollars over the past few months off One Piece, taking the allocation, putting it on the market. I will expand my orders if they allow me to, and I will take my allocation. I will put it on the market. Eventually, I feel like that hype train's gonna die. I will probably get burned at some point, but I will not allow it to burn me, just like with MetaZoo, just like with Pokemon, just like with Bitcoin. I will not allow it to burn me for more money than I've already taken off the table. That's the way that I interact with these things. I'm a gambler. I will not allow the betting apps. Those entertain me to some extent. So like right now, today, as of today, my whole life, 34 years almost of gambling, I am probably slightly up. Not significantly. I'm terrible at fantasy football. That's a $200 donation every year, pretty much. My wife won the past couple of years. We merge our finances, so she's helping the household come back. She got second place after, I think she won twice in a row and then got second. So she's helping the gambling EV because we are one with our finances. And betting apps, I'm way up on. Casinos, I'm down on for sure. I don't do scratch offs. I don't do stuff like that. But I'm a gambler. I am actually a gambler. I'm not a problem gambler because I have money that I can afford to lose. Entertainment. I set a budget. I don't lose more than that. But no, if the right thing came along, Bandai's there. I'm gambling, and I'm calling it gambling too. I'm not investing in Bandai. I'm not really retailing Bandai. I'm gambling in Bandai. I was gambling to some extent in MetaZoo, but I was actually enjoying it. I'm not enjoying One Piece at all. I am taking it for the money. I'm taking the free tendies. Someday, the tendies aren't going to be so free. Bitcoin, I gambled in that. I gambled in Bitcoin because I enjoyed the concept of it. Like, the same way that I enjoyed a lot of the concepts of MetaZoo, the same way I like the theory of it. Like, I don't think MetaZoo was going to... I never thought MetaZoo was going to overtake Pokemon. I don't think Bitcoin's going to overtake the US dollar. I don't think we're all going to be spending Bitcoin in 20 years. I just enjoy it. Like, the mathematics, the cryptographics, the things that go on, the algorithms behind crypto. Very fascinating to me. For some time, I mined Ethereum. I built a computer. I built a mining rig for Ethereum. Not to become rich, not to retire. Because it was fun and it was a business thing. That was all done, intent to profit, all bought all the equipment like through my business. I screw around with stuff. I tinker around with stuff, and I'll gamble and stuff at time to time. So one of the best collections I ever bought as a flip, a little over a year ago, I bought a massive collection: Naruto, Dragon Ball Z Score, Dragon Ball Super, Pokemon. They had no MetaZoo, sadly, but Power Rangers, tons of Star Wars, like tons of TCGs, dead CCGs, all kinds of stuff. I made a lot of money off that. That was a kind of a big gamble based on what it was, based on my lack of knowledge on a lot of that, but it panned out really well. That was a big gamble. I think people are overestimating the value MetaZoo sold for. Oh my God, Nick wrote that 45 minutes ago. Yeah, sorry, that's a thing here. I always run way behind chat. I run way behind chat when there's 70 people. There's 170 people now. I apologize. I'm doing my best. I think it sold for nearly nothing to Bandai. If it cost 50 grand or less, I would have bought it. I don't think it sold that low though. I would be shocked if it sold that low. Like, I understand like sassy retro in here with this take. I genuinely believe the boom killed MetaZoo. People will say the boom made it. The boom made it so that it could kill it. MetaZoo did not fund its Kickstarter. I think MetaZoo could have came out 6 years ago. I believe Kickstarter was a thing 6 years ago. It could have just been a small thing. It could have done 2,500 boxes, and then 5,000, and then 10,000, and then 15,000, and it could have just coasted there. Like 15,000. Say it was $100 retail. 15,000 booster boxes at $100 retail. That's 1.5 million, right? If you did 2 sets a year, that's $3 million gross off the booster boxes. You could do a business that runs a few $1,000,000 a year, and then add in some like t-shirts, plush, like add in some of it, not all of it. Too much. There was too much, maybe, but it could have been a thing. There's an alternate universe where MetaZoo never boomed, it never busted, it just existed. It just existed to some extent. Maybe I'm just dreaming. Maybe that's never a thing. Maybe it was always designed to be a pump it up. Like that's one thing Nick said. Not that I disagreed with most of what he said. Like I agreed with a lot of what he said, and I share similar sentiment in a lot of it. But I genuinely think that, and I never met Mike. I don't know him well enough to make this judgment. But based off what I saw, based off like, I don't think you Kickstarter TCG that doesn't fund, and then like he could have just ghosted. He could have just not made it because it didn't fund. He made it. It seemed like a passion project. I think Mike enjoyed MetaZoo. Maybe his head got too big, flew too close to the sun. Maybe the whole lifestyle of keeping up with the Joneses, more versus enough. That whole lifestyle inflation, hedonic adaptation, maybe that changed him. And maybe, again, that's speculation. I don't know enough about him. Even if I knew more about him, I wouldn't know enough about him to speculate that. But I could see that being a plausible thing. That at the outset, it was a passion project, and he was passionate about his. I genuinely believe all that. When that changed, if that changed, no idea. No idea. There were better ways to rug pull people if the whole idea was a rug pull. I mean, there was crypto involved in MetaZoo. Straight crypto. Like, why do a Kickstarter TCG? Do straight crypto. Do straight NFTs. There was a lot of rug pulls going on that were a lot more lucrative than MetaZoo. My thoughts. My unsolicited, slightly solicited thoughts. Yeah, like, you are tapped into, that's why you'll never catch me making a video like that. I am not tapped in to, like, I'm not tapped into Pokemon, I'm not tapped into MetaZoo. I'm not the in guy with any of it. It's like, I'm just doing my thing over, I'm just some guy running a business, talking about what shiny cardboard I'm buying and selling and why. Can someone explain a red ink? So, 25,000 Cryptid Nation first edition booster boxes were created. 100 of these were inserted into those as box toppers. So 100 over 25,000, 1 in 250 boxes have this as the box topper. So I just achieved a 0.4% pull rate on that red ink. At the peak, several $1,000 card. Today, probably a several dollar card. I have no idea. What's your distro selling you One Piece for? Are they raising prices or still at the $70 range? Right around 70. I don't remember exactly, but right around 70. Is there 135? I thought it was 100. That's one thing I like about serialized cards too. You can't lie. You can't cheat serialized cards, right? Like how many Moonbreons were printed, how many this, that. I like serialized cards because you know. I like knowing. One thing that it gives you too that I talked about in a video a year ago, 2 years ago, when, I don't know. Like the Green Man, the first numbered serialized card in MetaZoo, the Green Man. Theoretically, if MetaZoo were to exist for 10, 20 years, and shout out to whoever did it, I don't remember, Caster Society, maybe somebody else. If you track, say there's 100,000 boxes, let's look at booster boxes alone, because the blisters, the spell books, all that, it changes the math, it makes it more complex. Let's say there's 100,000 booster boxes, and there's 100 of a serialized card. Theoretically, if 20 years later, 50 of those were pulled and documented for, it gives you some insight. Like, not every card is going to come to public, but it gives you some insight as to how much was opened. How much Evolving Skies was opened? What percent of Evolving Skies that was printed was opened? We have no effing clue. I think publicly, last I knew, 23 Green Men were pulled. Some amount probably pulled, not documented. I'm fairly confident at least 40% of Wilderness was probably opened, given that 20 or 30 clumping and certain, like, it's tougher. It's tougher than that. But it gives you an idea. It gives you some insight, whereas otherwise you don't have any insight whatsoever. So I like serialized cards for that reason. I think MetaZoo did a lot of neat things. But they're gone. Get real. No one cares about MetaZoo. No one is buying it. No one cares. Maybe not. Maybe. I have no idea. How's it going, Dave? Nice to see you. Why is this Dan's most popular live stream ever? Oh, the red ink does say on it star out of 159. Does that mean there's 159 printed? I think the reason it says star out of 159 is because the set is numbered to 159. So it's like a secret card that's in the set but not in the set. They did that with like the powdered turquoise. They did that with the frog token that I pulled. They were number star out of however many cards native had. Where's my native? Native's here. So they were star out of 174. I don't think that means there weren't 174 frog tokens because they were numbered out of 10. Why is this Dan's most popular live stream ever? 1, hate watching. 2, all the Dan stands are here because it's big. 3, just the general drama. And then 4, like the passionate people about MetaZoo. There are tens of people passionate about MetaZoo, at least. Yeah, the haters are all gone now. I wish I should have paid more attention. I never go back and look at live stream chats, usually because I keep up with them. By the end of a live stream, I get through everything. I need to go back and see what I was missing in the live stream. There was probably some good chat that I missed. If MetaZoo dies in a forest, but no one's around to see it, did it really die? That's the thing. If Bandai buys it, probably won't be a partner. Probably won't be a thing. If my only access to War is at 70, like everyone else, I probably won't buy it. I won't buy like hundreds of boxes. Maybe I'll buy a couple cases for old time's sake, for nostalgia's sakes. But when everyone else was buying in the 70s and I was buying at 56, it was a good business decision. It was a better business decision. There was chatter about MetaZoo on 4chan, absolutely. Because why not? The 4chan intel was like, go watch after this is over. Go watch Nick's Drinks and Pokemon's video. It is about former insiders at MetaZoo talking about it being sold, talking about Mike being kicked out and all that stuff. Maybe that's what happened. Who knows? I never tried learning MetaZoo. I don't know how to play Pokemon either. Retro, you're here in a live stream. You're here in a MetaZoo live stream at your time, 9:20 p.m. Not only was Mike's post removed, but Mike was removed entirely from the Discord and Shaw took over. There's truth to this story. The future of MetaZoo is Mike is out. in the announcement, let me see if I can find the announcement actually. In the announcement, it said, it's in my download somewhere. I mean, Mike did say, more information will follow and be communicated via our Discord channel when it becomes available. So it was not like MetaZoo's dead. Bye. It was more information will follow. And it also said, he thanked everyone, proud to have been a part of it. Where'd it go? It is my hope that MetaZoo can continue on as an IP at some point in the future under new ownership, and I look forward to that day. So it alluded to, I mean, the most recent thing we heard from Mike alluded to potential new ownership, alluded to a potential sale. So it's not unreasonable. It alluded to future announcements. MetaZoo might be being sold. MetaZoo might have already been sold. I don't have any further information than what anyone else does. Some people have more. Some people have information from insiders at MetaZoo. If MetaZoo is a thing into the future, I think it will be more bullish for what I own. I think that would be better. I might engage as a consumer. I might engage solely as a consumer. I might buy one, well, if it's Bandai, I'll get it at distribution, not partner price, but I'll get it at distribution. I might buy a couple cases. Rip a little bit. I told my son, I told my son yesterday, driving home from school, you know MetaZoo? Yep. He's like, did a new set come out? I said, nope. There's going to be no more new sets. I said, MetaZoo's dead. And he said, what was the first thing he said? He said, oh, maybe the equipment they made it on broke. And I said, maybe. It was funny. Like, he didn't even say, he didn't even ask why'd it go. He went right to like, maybe what they made it on broke. And then the second thing he said maybe it's because they don't have $1 billion. And I said, they almost certainly don't have $1 billion. And yes, maybe they don't have the money to make more stuff. And he said, well, maybe someday they'll get the money to fix the machines, and maybe someday they'll get the money to print more cards. But then he started being like, then he went into consoling mode. He went into, well, you didn't like MetaZoo as much as Pokemon anyways, right? I'm like, yep. And he's like, Pokemon just came out with a new set, right? And I said, yep. We hadn't opened it yet. We just opened it. We opened it before bedtime. So an hour and a half before the stream tonight, we opened Paladin Fates. I opened for the first time. I pulled a shiny Pikachu, not much else. But it was funny. It was just a funny interaction with my son. He opened every set that I was a partner for. I don't think he ever went back and opened the other ones. But I'll tell him about this tomorrow. He'll probably be excited. He'll probably check it out. I have good memories of MetaZoo, whether it's done, whether it comes back, regardless. Y'all remember King of the Hill when Del Gribble tells Nancy, it's going to be a long night, bowl some Mountain Dew. That's Dan. I do not. I watched a fair bit of King of the Hill. Good show. I do not remember that. I don't know if that's actually in the show, but that's funny. Oh, man. Don't be sad, Retro, because I'm not sad. It is what it is. It's new information. We move on. Life continues on. Maybe not for MetaZoo. Maybe for MetaZoo. This was the most bullish thing to happen to MetaZoo in the past 6 to 12 months easily. The views MetaZoo is pulling, the sales volume MetaZoo is doing, the amount of attrition that will be going on all this product. Some amount of people are probably dumpstering. Like, they're probably writing off their inventory, chucking it out. They're probably just, a lot of attrition is probably going on right now with MetaZoo. What's going to happen? Who knows? So, All Man says, is there a Catch 'em All Collectibles playmat? I had my own playmat made, but starting Monday, I'm actually going to do a merch video Monday. I intended to do it last week, but I didn't have a voice because I was sick. This mat that I'm on is 36 by 18. Massive. Way bigger than a normal playmat. I have a desk mat. I'll have t-shirts. I'll have a hoodie. I'll have some various merch that I will start selling Monday onward. But I'm a big playmat guy. Like, I have a collection of playmats. I don't even know, 100 different Pokemon ones. I have all the different MetaZoo ones, and I like playmats for some reason. Like, I like the material for opening cards on. I need to, let me see. I need to go back to this because I need to open this from James. Let me open this from James. I'm going to open it mostly on camera, slightly off camera, in case there's any memes in here. I don't think there's going to be, but it's just our P.O. boxes. Don't worry. I'm not doxing us. Oh, there is a note. Should I see the note? If the pack is resealed, it isn't my fault. So James is already preempting the scam that he did to me. So we're going to open a Pokemon pack quick. This is my winnings. This is my spoils from the bet with James. This card is my new PC Grail forever. Why is there 2 cards? Oh, the Charmander too. I forgot about the Charmander. So I need to ensure that these don't get mixed up with other cards. These are going to go with the red ink because these are new PC Grails. We actually did Pikachu to Pikachu. I thought it was a different card, but I guess that's the one. We did Pikachu to Pikachu, probably a $40 card. I won the bet. For some reason, he threw this in. I told him not to because he said he was going to up the ante and put in this pack that he couldn't sell. And I didn't up the ante from my side. I think we talked about a Kickstarter MetaZoo pack, but he didn't want it. So let's see what we pull. I don't know the pack trick. The pack trick is it's the front card. I just pulled a Brock's Rhydon. It is also a new PC Grail. There's a Pikachu for my kids' binders. I guess one of the kids' binders. It can't be for both of them. But yeah, shout out to James. Shout out to ZNG Emporium coming through on the bet. We got a nice horn swirl there. Appreciate you, James, for not backing out on your bet. MetaZoo Games YouTubes is sending Mason Berry a care package. I hear they have a nice history. Andy is trying to get Mike to answer his calls. Let's see. Is MetaZoo still going to be in Hot Topic or Arby's? Probably not, if I had to guess, but I have no idea. Given that the management was the biggest complaint from MetaZoo fans, if or when they announce a buyout or new management, I think a lot of old fans would come back. MetaZoo has fans. I don't know what the print run size is that Bandai does. I don't know if Bandai would care to do 10,000 boxes of a set, 15,000 boxes of a set. I feel like there could be a market. I feel like there could be an existence of MetaZoo into the future. And if that were to happen, I think not that the prices will go up from where they are, but the prices will be something. There will be something into the early stuff in MetaZoo, I think. Probably not as crazy as they were during the pandemic, during the boom, during the craze, but something. I cannot advise anyone on how to handle their MetaZoo. Darkest sentence uttered this year thus far. It's an early year. There's plenty of time. I don't want to open the OP05. I have such crazy luck opening stuff, though. I usually still lose money, even after having good luck, because like stuff's so negative EV. Oh, yeah. If you have any Revive stuff, go redeem them. I guess that's back up on the MetaZoo Marketplace. So Nick Strength and Pokemon redeemed 2 MetaZoo Revives and got confirmation back from customer support. Weren't there a ton of samples at the factory? There were a ton of fakes being printed. I don't know what happened. Maybe that's why I like serialization. Supposedly, the samples are out of 100. When you put numbers on stuff, the numbers don't lie. If you start seeing 2 number 69s out of 100, you got a problem there. So I really like serialized for very rare stuff. If Pokemon, imagine if the 39 illustrators were serialized. Imagine if the 6 trophies that were awarded each year, each place, 6 number 1, 6 number 2, 6 number 3, 6 number 4s, imagine if they were numbered. Like, that would get weird because, like, the poor guy who gets number 6 out of 6 instead of getting number 1 out of 6, like, it would probably be worth less because collectors are insane. Dave Person would probably have a hard time because he would probably want to collect every single one because he's, like, the biggest English set collector and he probably couldn't just have one of each. He'd have to have all of them, right? But I like serialization for some of the problems that it tackles. It creates some problems too, to be fair. But Let's see. I don't think I've seen Dan blink once. I think someone told me earlier to blink if I was in distress, and I'm not in distress. Dan, not a robot. He's a politician. This man can spin a narrative. GR card still has a blue ink he got from Gem Mint Pokemon. Gem Mint Pokemon still has the trade GR cards. What do you think would be the tastiest cryptic? I don't know enough cryptids to say. I need another Mountain Dew. I'm looking low, Dan. I'm getting very low. These two 7.5 ounce Mountain Dews that I poured in my glass didn't last too long, surprisingly. Dan, where on the doll did MetaZoo hurt you 3 hours later? Oh, God. Y'all, what are we talking about here? MetaZoo isn't a thing this year. MetaZoo hurt in the eyes. So, Fresh Tats was hurt right here and right here by MetaZoo. He was hurt in the eyeballs due to the horrific artistry. I liked some of it, though. We got Zach in here worried about his Metapoo investment not going to the moon. I was amazed by your home run idea of selling stamped partner Earth Aura cards. It might not be a home run idea. If everyone sells back to me, I will lose 1 cent per item, right? I will lose money. At some point, I'm going to raise up the buyback price. If I raise up the buyback price to $25 and everyone that bought them for $19.99 and everyone I gave them to for free, if everyone sells them back, I'll lose like $700. So it won't have been too wise, but I don't think everyone will sell them back. We'll see. No one sold them back yet, surprisingly. I have Magic 30 right up there. I've sealed Magic 30 right up there. 161 viewers in Dan's darkest hour. Smash that like button. I will be caught up to chat relatively soon, hopefully. Damn, Dan, imagine how much free time you're gonna have now that MetaZoo isn't a time suck. I was trying to think how much time I put into MetaZoo. Cracking 10,000 packs. Like, of the 10,000 packs that were cracked of native, I probably did 5,000 of them. That's the most I did. My sister did the bulk of UFO and Seance, probably. The reason I work nights now is because she's got a full-time job. She doesn't babysit my kids anymore. So I'm working nights until my kids both get into school. But anyways, she used to open a lot of product for me. And UFO and Seance, I probably opened a couple thousand. Like, I know when I was really going hard on it. I can open a box, especially when I'm only keeping the hits, the full hollows and stuff. I'm not sorting out like the bulk for MetaZoo. But I could open and fully sort a case in under an hour. 216 packs. So say I opened 2,000, I was putting 10 hours. 10 hours of opening into each set. Native, maybe 30 hours of opening into a set. And I was doing it when I was watching football games, basketball games, hockey games. I was doing it when I otherwise would have been like on Reddit or on like whatever. I could have been sorting Pokemon. I could have been conditioning Pokemon. I could have been making money in Pokemon. Absolutely. But I probably didn't even put 500, like 2 years, 3 sets. Obviously, a lot of time to create the listings, fulfill all the orders. I probably didn't put, did I put 300 hours in the MetaZoo? 500 hours in the MetaZoo? I genuinely have no idea. Like a full-time year is 2,000 hours. I'm approximately putting 2,000 hours a year into Pokemon. I was a partner with MetaZoo. I was in MetaZoo for 2.5 years. Did I put 10% of my time? Say I put 1,000 hours in the MetaZoo. I probably pulled 20 grand out of it. Maybe I made 20 bucks an hour. Maybe I made more than I thought. I have no idea. It's interesting to think about, though. Has anyone reminded Dan that he said MetaZoo would outlive Lorcana multiple times? Absolutely they did. I apologized at the beginning. Go back and watch my start. That was made mostly as a meme. That's just not me trying to wheel it back. I absolutely said that. I absolutely meant it, but it was mostly for the memes. That was back when like Sports Card Investor or whatever did his whole Lorcana Pokemon big thing that went viral and people talked about everywhere. And let's see. Can you open some Pokemon while we talk some trash? I don't have any Pokemon handy. Please tell me Evil Ketchum is Walrus burner account. Yo. I didn't even notice the name. How many Evil Ketchum all collectibles posts did I miss? Damn. I can't spend too much time seeing what I missed because I'm gonna miss everything. I don't know I feel like I know that's Dragon Ball Z, but I don't know the reference that well. Evil Dan is the real cryptid. Jimmy Neutron, that was a good show. Evil Dan about to be Pokemon Wonder next guest. Retro, I don't know if we timed our live stream well, or I don't know if we timed it poorly. I don't know if it should have been more MetaZoo or less MetaZoo. But I had to go check out Retrospecs. We had a great live stream a couple weeks ago, talking about my business, talking about my involvement in MetaZoo, talking about it's interesting to see my takes only a few weeks ago. Check out my own channel. A few weeks ago. I had my own takes on MetaZoo. Pre New Year, post New Year, after they didn't pay people. Serious question, do I eat in the bathroom? You give bathroom snacking energy. I do not eat in the bathroom. Steve Aoki probably has better places to put his money. But I think he owns a part of it, right? I don't know. Holy, I'm way too far behind. I'm going to try to catch up. Evil Ketchum All Collectibles is undercutting my vault rate. I will go on the show and give my MetaZoo take. I'm not gonna. If I bring Jake on, we're gonna go till 6 a.m. Jake, look what I pulled from the box you scammed me with. Jake scammed me with a MetaZoo collection that he bought recently, or that he took in trade recently, and I scammed him back by pulling a red ink. I picked the right box too, because I forget how many first edition boxes I got in that, maybe 3 or 4. Would you rather fight 100 chat-sized babies or 1 Dan-sized Dan? What? Oh, God. 1 Dan-sized Dan. I want to see how I can hold up. Never been in the fight. I want to see how I can hold up, though. Why don't we start a new Kickstarter TCG for cryptids? Hey, it's free real estate. It's public domain. All 5 MetaZoo players are here. There's a lot of trolling going on in chat, absolutely. I have insider info, MetaZoo for life. Can I get that Loveland Frogman with the 3D glasses now? We'll message you my wallet address. I think you did send me it once, didn't you? You pay the gas and I'll send it to you. That Frogman is awesome. Thoughts on 4chan Bandai rumor? MetaZoo in their final announcement, they said, stay tuned for another announcement. Mike said, I hope someone can do something with this down the line. Mike left little breadcrumbs that it was potentially going to be for sale. Plausible. Plausible at best. A weak plausible, I'll say. I have no idea, though. I have no insider info. After my stream, I'm going to go watch Nick's Strength and Pokemon video, and then maybe I'll have more tertiary information. MetaZoo Menace is stocking up while they're cheap. Might pan out. There might be a play. You are better off buying them today than you were at their peaks in the boom. Captain Hindsight, Captain Obvious. Because you will lose less, right? You can't lose as much. Percentage-wise, you could lose more. Because 9,000 on a Kickstarter box to 450, that's 95% down. But 450 to 0, that's 100% down. So you could lose more percentage-wise, but not raw dollar-wise. Can I buy a 1-of-1 Dan signed Mountain Dew bottle? No. Get that MetaZoo card off Pikachu this instant. Dan casually opening a Japanese vintage pack. Yeah, that was probably like a $150 pack, wasn't it? Let's see. Lord Pokesmoke swears everyone is getting got with this Bandai 4chan rumor. 5 years from now, everything that happens will have been so obvious. Like, make your calls today. I'm going to make a call. Complete wild-ass guess. Do not make any investment decisions. Do not make any consumer decisions even. I think MetaZoo will release something in the future. A product in the future. I think whether it will be one last hurrah under new ownership, whether it will crash, I don't know. I think something else will be released by MetaZoo. Complete guess based on nothing. But that's my guess. All this channel is about what am I actively doing? 2 days ago, I had 500 MetaZoo booster boxes. I'm selling down to 300 approximately. 4 of each set. 4 cases of each set. I am not selling any of my grails. I'm not going to sell this red ink fire sale. If someone's going to pay me over $1,000 for it, maybe I'll sell it. I don't know. I'll think about it. $1,000 doesn't do much though. What's $1,000 going to do? If I sell something for $1,000, it makes my effective hourly rate while interacting with MetaZoo go up by $1 an hour. So it's like a good raise. But I'm not going to sell my samples fire sale. I'm not going to auction my samples. I thought about auctioning. I'm like, they're in the eBay vault. I could just click auction. I don't need $500. I don't need a few $100s that they're going to get. And maybe they're going to get chilled. Maybe they're going to go unpaid. I'm going to have to reset. Like, I'm selling boxes, pin club. I'm selling bulky stuff. I want bulky stuff gone. Handful of cards. Like, there's not many graded cards left. Some oddball, like random stuff that's not. I might send some stuff to DC Sports to consign auction them, get rid of them. But I'm not like fire selling everything. I'm going to sell down to 4 cases of each set, and then I'm going to sit tight. Dan, are you going to be increasing your % off for all your stuff on Troll and Toad till it all sells through? Originally, my deadline, according to what I was told originally, what I had been saying, as far as I knew a month ago, my stuff should not be on Troll and Toad as of right now. February 1st, which we are currently in February 1st on the East Coast, it was supposed to end. We'll have to see. Search in a day, search in a week, search in a month, search in 5.5 months. Maybe Catch 'em All Collectibles will still have inventory being sold by Troll and Toad Evo. Beyond 5.5 months, beyond, I don't know. We'll see. I genuinely don't know. But we'll see. We'll see what happens. I don't want to take any of my Troll and Toad stuff back though. I priced it pretty low. I think most of it sold. I'll probably check on it in a week or two, maybe in a month, and I'll probably lower it some more if there's stuff that I still want to go. A lot of it went though. I have sold TCG Player and eBay alone. I sold 100 boxes the past 2 days. Counting Troll and Toad Evo, I probably sold 250 boxes the past 2 or 3 days. No. That goes back to the week before. Because that was before the MetaZoo news. That was, I have 1 week left. I had a 1 week timer, I thought, to sell all my Troll and Toad Evo stuff. So that's what that was. I didn't want to pay shipping to get my MetaZoo back from Troll and Toad because I have enough here. I have too much here. Chiefs. The Kansas City Taylor Swifts. Hey, King Pokemon, how's it going? I'm going to check. I think this is the proper Gary. I'm going to verify, though. Why is it not letting me click? My chat's not letting me click to go to channel. Gary's pulling for the Chiefs. I think this is actually Gary. Chiefs +2, specifically. I think I'm almost caught up in chat. Let me keep going. Yeah, I'm only 10 minutes behind. You know when you ask someone that's hurting how they're doing and they say, I'm fine, this Dan Live is what you get when they want to talk about it instead. I love you, Walrus. I love you. The stamp card you sent me is staying in my PC. I'm going to pull it out in 50 years and say, what the hell is this? You might pull it out in 50 years. If I'm still alive in 50 years, the buyback price might be $40. You might double your money in 50 years. That is not a great ROI relative to the S&P 500. That is not a great ROI relative to maybe Pokemon, maybe MetaZoo, maybe One Piece, maybe who knows. But you won't lose money as long as I'm alive. That's what I'm saying. Now I feel guilty for cracking on Dan. I can take it. Andy really wants Mike to answer his calls. Katie Lowen wants Pokenomics Jake and Nostalgianomics Alex to buy MetaZoo together. So here we go. We got Gary. Gary, are you still going on Pawn Stars? Yes, Leaf in March now. So Gary's going on with his sample sheets. His sample MetaZoo sheets to Pawn Stars. I'll be interested to see if that airs, how that goes. That'll be really interesting. Hey, if we get the Pawn Stars pump, if we get Bandai to buy it, if we get War coming out, who knows? Who knows? I think, again, rumor mill, I don't have this information. If War, theoretically, was going to come out sometime early this year, there's probably images for War already. There's probably stuff that could be bought if it were for sale. Who knows? Pokebarn says that Pawn Stars episode is definitely not airing. Hey, that sounds like certainty. What's our rebate if it does air? This is one of those moments that it's like, with hindsight, everything becomes obvious. This is one of those bold claims. Like, you always see people who were right about something, kind of like parading around that they were right. Here's me making that call. Here's me later. People don't remember usually. People don't remember when things go wrong. Like, I made some good calls. I won this bet from James. I won these nice 2 cards. I've made some good calls too. MetaZoo maybe was a bad call. Probably should have sold more. Probably should have took money out. Maybe I should have never interacted financially. All things considered financially. But it'll be interesting whatever happens. It'll be interesting. No way the History Channel cares about MetaZoo, a super new collectible. Pokemon, I don't think you know what the History Channel is. The History Channel is not really the History Channel these days. I think History is it's more of a reality TV show, and Pawn Stars fits right in. This whole live is a top signal. Oh man. What's $1,000 gonna do? What is holding the card gonna do? It'll remind me of the great times I had with MetaZoo. I offered to bring in several other grails, but they wanted the MetaZoo. Sorry, haters. They wanted the MetaZoo. Is Dan a collector again? I'm collecting MetaZoo. I'm definitely collecting some of this MetaZoo. I've achieved enlightenment. This is Collector Boy Dan for sure. MetaZoo owns 0 IPs or manufacturing processes. It would be cheaper for Bandai to start new than buy an indebted company. Y'all on some good cope. The Mexican hipster says, this man is so out of touch talking about what's 1K gonna do. That's food for a month or 2 for a lot of people. That's food for a month for me too. Okay. Pokebarn does not like King Pokemon. I have tons of Pokemon. Would you be willing to trade for a MetaZoo? Trades don't work well. It's like we both have to ship stuff. There's some amount of trust there. Buy my MetaZoo. Sell your Pokemon, buy my MetaZoo. That's what money was created for. A medium of exchange. I have stuff that you want. You have stuff that I might want, but we don't want each other's stuff. That's why money was created. So, Pokebarn, let's get it public. What are you going to do if Pawn Stars airs? If Pawn Stars airs, King Pokemon with a MetaZoo sample sheet, what's Pokebarn going to do? I can put up some collateral. What would I do? We should put a bet out there. I feel like we got people here. I'll mark it on my Google Calendar as a reminder. 1 year from now, 6 months from now, as a reminder. We could make something fun of it. Pokebarn seems very confident. Let's put something on it. I'll put up something on my side too that you could win. Like we would need to put a time to it, right? So Gary, let us know by when would it. I have no idea when they film versus when it airs. I have no idea what the turnaround time for that is. Put like a year on it or something. I'm a gambling man. What can I say? Isn't all like I don't watch a lot of reality TV. Isn't all reality TV these days scripted? Isn't that like that's what reality TV is? That's what these shows are becoming. I used to watch Storage Wars. I used to watch some Pawn Stars. Each year over year, like it got more and more scripted. I mean, we know, like we saw the CGC stuff. We saw Charlie go in. Charlie had to kind of act like he didn't know much. They brought in an expert who knew less than Charlie did about the stuff. Like we know some of the back end of what goes on, right? Just due to what we saw and the people that we know on the shows and stuff. Reality TV is scripted. Sorry to let you know. Give me some cool poncho arts of yokai. I need to see Bigfoot. Like, we got Poncho Pikachus. I need Poncho Bigfoot. I need Bigfoot playing basketball. Like, there's so much you can do with MetaZoo. I mean, come on. Think about it. Think about it. Dave says he's speaking with Mike right now. He confirmed with me that some companies have reached out and said they wanted to buy part of the company, and he mentioned it would be cool if Bandai was one of them. This is DR Cards saying it. This is not me. I have no idea. No idea. But nothing is final or even close to a sale. Altered TCG Kickstarter aired yesterday and is at 1.4 million. There's a sucker born every day. A fool and his money are soon parted. There's so many things out there. Some people, I can quite confidently say some people will make money in Altered TCG and some people will lose money. Will it go to zero? Will it be dead in 2 years? I have no idea. I know nothing about it. I've never been on the Kickstarter page. I've heard people say the name 5 times today. But there are people that are born to lose money. There are people, like the Kramer effect, right? I don't really watch. I think it's Mad Money, Jim Cramer. I think he's like an inverse signal, right? Like whatever he buys, you got to sell. Whatever he sells, you got to buy. There are a lot of people like that in life. I used to work with some of them. Oh man, Pawn Stars is a show for the History Channel to showcase historical artifacts. MetaZoo is 3 or 4 years old, not historical. History Channel is a show. They talk about aliens and stuff. They talked about. We don't need to turn this into aliens. History Channel talks about a lot of garbage that has nothing to do with history. I guarantee you that. MetaZoo would fit right in with some of the stuff I've seen on the History Channel. Yeah, turn on the channel for a minute, please. Like, I don't think you know what airs on the History Channel. Let's see what's playing. What's on the History Channel right now? Like, literally right now, live. It's probably like Pawn Stars, but let me see if there's something funny. Could be funny. American Pickers. Paid Programming. Pawn Stars. Swamp Mysteries. Swamp People. Like, there are some shows on that thing. There's a lot of, like, aliens. There's a lot of ghosts. There's, like, swamp people. There's, like, yeah, ancient aliens. The History Channel is not what you think it is, Pokebarn. Yellen was a huge MetaZoo fan. Mothman was her favorite. Oh, God. Do you even watch Pawn? I have not watched Pawn Stars in years. Let's look up the newest items shown on Pawn Stars. Everything's the most expensive. What are newest items shown on Pawn Stars? I feel like there's been stuff within a few years, but yeah, I can't look up. It's gonna take too long. Here's the 30 most expensive. They're probably the vast majority of stuff is probably old. I'll give you that. But Gary, remind me if I'm wrong. I think Gary used to, or maybe currently does, live near Rick. I think Rick lives in like the same community. They can put whatever they want on that show. I promise you. I'm trying to scroll and see if there's anything newer in there. But anyways, here's a 2014 Hertz Penske GT Mustang. Did they buy it? There was a 1 of 150 Mustang that's 10 years old. MetaZoo's only a few years old. But they absolutely could, if they wanted to, put on a MetaZoo sheet. 2001 New England Patriots Super Bowl ring. There's definitely stuff on there that's 10, 20 years old. 200 pounds of silver. So here's just silver. When was this silver minted? Engelhard 100-ounce troy-ounce bars. These could have been minted 2 or 3 years ago. Silver, crazy boom. 2011 was its crazy boom. Who knows, though? When 4 1-kilo gold bars. Those are not super old. Anyways, what's the bet? I'll make a bet with you, Pokemon. Let's make a friendly wager of what donating to charity or something. One of us donates to charity of the other's choosing. Sorry if I offended. I'm not offended. I just think it's funny how confident people can be with something like they know very little about. And like the whole premise of the History Channel wouldn't put on stuff that's not historic. Like that is the History Channel puts on so much crap. MetaZoo on the History Channel makes sense. Hey, it's a dead TCG. There you go. The Mexican hipsters got me. Once you're a dead TCG, you're a part of history. That's true. That shit's history. There we go. Multiple people. I don't think Gary sells much, but if it airs, I'll admit I'm wrong. What do you want? Here we go. MetaZoo Games YouTube says it's definitely happening. Anyways, we'll see if it happens. I don't know that it's happening. It's just funny how confident people can be. And with hindsight, things that are a binary option. MetaZoo lives or it dies. There's kind of an in-between where it just flounders, right? But the show either airs or it doesn't. Those who knew it wouldn't were right if it doesn't air. Those who knew it would, which I'm not saying I know it would. Gary's saying it's going to air. But you're right once it's done, right? That's just the way these things go. You never know until you know, and people will be very confident on Monday morning what happened on Sunday. We're talking about reality TV now. If it airs, you have to buy a Rudy promo. If you're speaking with Mike right now, you're sus. Why can you not speak with Mike right now? There's definitely been playtesting done for War, unpublished art from the artist, plenty to sell. I can show receipts. I have no reason to lie. I was also a partner. Yeah, I'm not saying that I think you're lying, but some people in chat, like that's the thing. At some point, you can show it does, like you don't need to show because you show, oh, it's doctored, it's photoshopped, it's whatever. It doesn't matter that much. Mike is the type of guy that touches all the donuts before he picks one to eat. We're not doing this, Ponga. We're not doing this. Talk is. They had a show about giants and they canceled it after 1 season. I was pissed. Yeah, no worries, Pokebarn. Arson, you follow me closely. Guy takes his kid to the water park after 4 p.m. to get in free the next day, but claims he's not going to liquidate $20K of MetaZoo because he doesn't need the money. When we've gone, that's funny because I probably mentioned that once in a random live stream last year. But yeah, Water Safari, the water park that's fairly near to me, up in Old Forge, New York, they have a thing where if you go in after a certain time, you just get the next day free. It's like buy one. Why go for just one day when you're doing an overnight anyways? Like if you're doing an overnight anyways in Old Forge, why not get more? Like I occasionally use deals on the McDonald's app when I'm buying my kids Happy Meals to get their Pokemon cards or to get their Squishmallow toys. I occasionally will use my reward points to get a free Happy Meal. I occasionally will do a buy one get one coupon for some random $2 thing. Like I definitely have weird interactions with money, more weird in the past few years with respect to all this found money, with all this house money. And I've become more of a gambler with all this house money from cardboard. But that's funny. I have no idea who Graham Hancock is. Yeah, and again, we don't need to beat this one to death, but I didn't even really consider it. The lore of cryptids and the local cryptid aspect of the game. Like, I'm not sure if there's any cryptids local to Vegas on that sheet, but they could talk about they could talk about the Mothman and the Bigfoot and the lore and all the history, and maybe Rick will point to some other item that he bought that had to do. There are things you could do with it. Anyways, I am probably gonna wrap up relatively soon. It is 1 o'clock. Let me know how much gas was, and I'll PayPal you. Catch 'em all collectibles. There, stuff about uninteresting, irrelevant items all the time. MetaZoo will fit right in. We don't have to bet about anything. If it doesn't air in a year, I'll donate $50 to some charity of your choosing. And you don't have to do anything the other way if it does air. Like, it's not a big deal. It doesn't have to be a thing. No one just, we have Andy in here. We have Mike in here. We have the official MetaZoo YouTube. None of those are the people they claim to be. So Swami, so again, I don't know if this is true. Gary was saying on Instagram or in some YouTube comments, it has not been filmed yet. I don't know what the turnaround time. Supposedly, Mike was going to be there, and it was going to happen. Supposedly, it's filming in a couple weeks or in March. I don't know. I have no idea. But I had heard that it did not yet film. MetaZoo, can you drop any info? Scroll back up, Bobo. Bob Bobo. Tons of info has been dropping. It is 1 o'clock. I am fully caught up. I am fully caught up on chat. I am going to end soon. I'll sometimes use a coupon to save $2. It's crazy. All this house money. Go to sleep, bro. I'm definitely going to sleep. I appreciate everyone hanging out. By far my biggest live stream. Probably will be the biggest live stream I ever have. Over a dead TCG. Dead today. But what tomorrow? What the next day? What will the future bring for MetaZoo? Whatever it brings, I will be there. Waiting. I appreciate you all watching. I will catch you all later.